Well, hello, good morning and welcome to the FIA World Rallycross Championship. We are in Sweden at Höljes and you are in the right place to watch some incredible action. Over the next 2 hours you're going to see 15 races here at the classic Höljes track. The Magic Weekend is what it's called and it is all going to be magic. So thanks for joining us. Let us know where you're watching from. It's good to hear who you're rooting for today. During this live stream you'll see RX2 qualifying 1, the European Supercars qualifying 1 and the World RX qualifying 1. If we spin around, let's have a look. These are the RX2 cars getting ready. They'll be the first to do battle, but it's going to be a huge day's racing today. In free practice this morning, the top 19 cars in supercars were separated by less than a second. So we're in for some very, very good racing indeed. It's a little bit chilly here this morning. It's about 14 degrees. It's probably warmer wherever you are. And the track temperature is a little bit cooler, sort of about 16 degrees track temperature. So it'll be interesting to see what it does to the tyres. There's a few changes to the circuit. If you're used to Höljes, there's been a few changes, but I'll let Andrew Coley and Dan Rook talk you through that. So we're going to be live streaming all weekend and the racing's coming very soon. Let's have a look at where this puts us in the time we've been started in Abu Dhabi, we've been on tour around Europe. Here we are for the second half of the season in Sweden. We're up in the Värmland in the middle of Sweden. It's rallying and rallycross territory. And I've got with me Anton Markland, who last time out on track was the winner, but of course very disappointingly you were DQ'd after it. Tell us how you've been able to pick yourself up after that.
Yeah, it's to be honest, it wasn't that hard. Decision was made and I was disqualified, and then it's just to leave it behind you and be proud of the pace we had and then just refocus to Höljes. I didn't think about it too long, and to be honest, the day after I was on a sponsor event back home, so I was focusing on that, and after that I was focused on Höljes. So hopefully we can repeat that win on the track today, this weekend.
And of course the pace of the car looks very good. You look fired up, and just give us a sense of how important it would be to win at home in Sweden.
I mean, one of the best things I've done is to win at Höljes in the European Championship back in 2017, and to win here in front of the home crowd in World Championship is something that you can't really think about. I think that's something you just have to do and to be there in the moment to understand how special it really is.
Okay, we'll let you go and do your debrief. I think you've got to go and look at data from free practice, but everyone was quick in free practice, which is quite promising for us to watch some good battles.
Yeah, I think the pack is quite tight, so it will be interesting, and for sure the time we put into watching the data now will really pay off probably. So I'll put a lot of time into that, and hopefully we can do a solid Q1.
Cool. Go and do your homework. We'll see you later. Have a good race.
Thank you.
Cheers, Anton. So now it's time to get racing in RX2. Let's join our commentators, Andrew Coley and Dan Rook.
Hey guys, very much looking forward to this. Dan, we're halfway through the season, but this is the classic. This is our Monaco, and it is the total opposite of Monaco, but it's mega.
Yeah, there's so much atmosphere at this track, and it is just fantastic to be here and absorb it all. We've got the seats packed already, probably people full of hangovers, but it's going to be a fantastic
They're all lining up down the side of the track. The view here is brilliant. The track is brilliant. So let's take a look at this. We've got an onboard lap for you with Anton Markland from free practice this morning. So this is crossing the start-finish line up to turn 1, in towards the right over a crest. And then it's a little bit of braking in towards the left, up and over the crest. They use that tree, Dan, don't they, to line up that because it's completely blind.
Yeah, fully blind, and then big sideways in through the chicane. Scrub off so much speed, super slippy on the way into the velodrome.
That's gravel now as well, and then we can see that extra bit of tarmac on the way into velodrome, Dan. So the track width is more. There's a new curb on the left-hand side here, and they've also changed the curbs in the right-hander at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, so usually the drivers will be able to take a big cut and get away with it, but you can see there where people have been cutting the gravel and running the risk of a puncture where that extra bit of curb isn't there.
Yeah, awesome. Absolutely fantastic circuit. Going to be more accurate coming down the hill into that right-hander. We're going to see maybe more use of track width on the run into velodrome, so we might see some overtaking there. We've got the gravel, that joker lap merge, there's always contact there. So going to be some fantastic racing. The World guys, of course, are coming up last in this session. Prior to that, we've got Euro Supercar. First up, we've got RX2. So let's take a look at the championship standings as we come into their next round. Oliver Eriksson then has missed just 1 point in the 4 rounds that we've had so far. Jesse Callio is in P2, and in terms of lap times yesterday, they were very close during practice. Fraser McConnell third, then it's Ben Philip Gunderson recovering from his shocker in Barcelona. He's been bang on the pace since then. Sami Matti Trogan is up there. Gryazin, of course, rolled it last time in Norway. Olafsson, Michalak. We've got a much bigger entry here. We've got 5 races with RX2 cars in. So this is not an event to be having a problem in any of the classes, because if you have a retirement here, you might not make the semis. That applies to RX2, Euro, and particularly to World Supercars. So don't miss a second this weekend. This one, because of the size of the entry, because of the chances of not making the semis if you have a bad race, is crucial to the championship hopes of everyone involved. Here we go then, time to go racing at Holliers. Super 1600 actually did a couple of rounds last night. That's because of how big the entry is here. We need all the time we can get on Saturday to bring you all the action from RX2, Euro and World Supercar. Enland, Nilsson and Oskarsson in this one. There we go, green light for Saturday at Holliers. Nilsson with a good start in the middle of the grid, going to try and get into turn 1, but Enland with a little tap. Nilsson uses all the curb. Nicely done, William Nilsson, super brave through there. Danny goes standard lap.
Yeah, he had to be really committed to hold his line there, and pitching up onto 2 wheels over a big blind crested corner is a brave move.
So Nilsson missed Norway, and he's parted ways with the team that he was with. He said to me yesterday, there's an RX2 kind of press conference social media piece online if you'd like to go and find it. We spoke to 4 of the drivers, including Nilsson and championship leader Eriksson. He said, look, no hard feelings. I've been with the team a long time. We got on really well, but I felt it was time for a change. And he's got himself together with a few mechanics that he has known a long time, and he's now running his own car. But that's going to bring extra challenges on top of the driving.
Yeah, so one thing he had an advantage of with running with a team was being able to share data, and now having to run on his own and only have his own data to analyse is going to be a bit trickier for him, but also the pressures of having to prepare the car himself and find the mechanics to do it and so on and so forth.
Now, when you ran in RX2, of course, you ran with Team Foreign. In fact, you took a win here. We'll talk about that later on. But you ran your own car in the British Rallycross Championship. You know, how stressful is it?
It is very stressful, because a lot of these guys, when they run with a team, they turn up at an event and the car is already prepared. Then they go out and do the driving, and then they come back and go home, and then it's done for them. But running your own car, it is a bit more stressful. You've got to make sure everything's right, but it is more cost effective. It does save you that little bit of extra money doing everything yourself, but it does add the pressure to you as well.
So a bit more for Nilsson to manage. At the minute, he's got to manage a 2.1 second gap back to Enland. It has to say Enland and Oskarsson both looking pretty racy here. Backs it in through the left-right. That right-hander, Dan, you were saying yesterday it's always really slippery. We actually rode the track this morning, didn't we, on a couple of pedal bikes?
Yeah, so no matter how dry the track is, the gravel always gets dragged off of the first section of gravel that we have there into that right-hander, and there is no traction. You've got to try and rotate the car early, otherwise you just get absolutely nailed by lots of understeer.
Last corner has got some posts on the inside. That's to stop people cutting it. We've seen Cyril Raymond did it last year, I think, and later apologised. I think it was Nitty, she did it too, and he apologised. He was like, really sorry, Rayners. Timmy, of course, did it to Ekstrom. I don't know how sorry he was about that in the end because he lost the win. I think Nilsson's going to lose the win here because Enland's going quick. Nilsson's going to have to shut the door on Oscarson. So impressive drive from Enland. But there are more changes to the track, and we'll try and talk you through those as we go through these RX2 races. I'm sure we'll have plenty of time for it. We think there's potentially an extra place to overtake, which is in that last corner they went through, the Velodrome, one of the few corners in Rallycross that has a name. Some of our circuits have a few corner names. Lytton Hill always had a few corner names, but here at Hollius, takes the win. Actually, it was funny yesterday, I was talking to the Hansons and we were talking about Velodrome, and then I was like, yeah, well, the right-hander before Velodrome, and they're like, yeah, they were like, it's really weird, that's what the corner's called, and I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, everyone just calls it the right-hander before Velodrome. A few coats on the crowd. If you watched last year, again, we filmed a social piece in the woods last year, everyone was in bikinis and swim shorts sitting in paddling pools. I can assure you they're not doing that. Gets down to 4 degrees C at the minute. Overnight here. Enland takes it from Nilsson Oscarson. Loads of Swedes here racing 3:12.0, the target time for everyone else. Another look back. This was a brave start by Nilsson.
Yeah, very brave. He took advantage of Enland on the inside, not quite getting the start, but then contact between all three cars there, and Nilsson taking advantage of having a car on his outside to lean on him and push himself through and make a gap.
Good to see him use that much curb. I think it's a good sign of how much curb you can use here. And again, there have been modifications to the curbs. I'm really keen to talk about that when we're looking at them so you guys at home can understand it a little bit more. But Enland was good there, was he? I kind of feel like Nilsson maybe should have responded on the previous lap.
Yeah, maybe 1 lap sooner would have given him the gap for the Joker lap, but it wasn't to be. And Enland went on to take the flag at the first round of RX2.
Martin, first race of the day, first win of the day. How was that for you?
It's absolutely crazy. To drive here in Hollius, it has been a dream for me.
And does the track feel good? Does the car feel good?
Yeah, the car and the track feels good. Let's see what the time brings us.
Thank you, well done.
You can see everyone with there's hats on. We're not really woolly hats. Dude there with a hoodie up, look. Still having a bit of a dance. I saw a man with a beer yesterday at 9 AM, which I was very pleased by. I thought that was committed.
Well, it's past 12 somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always beer o'clock somewhere. What I love about Hollis is you turn up and you can never be sure if that's the first beer of the day or a continuation from yesterday. Like, it is such a good event. It's a real party atmosphere. It's a kind of a festival-y camping type thing. It's not somewhere to come if you're looking for a quiet night. Although if you just want to come and watch the racing, you know, we stay at a ski lodge, which is on a kind of cross-country skiing place, which actually Johan Kristoffersen used to train at. He looked at my Instagram last year and was like, yes, I've been there a lot. Brilliant skier before he took up Rallycross. So we stay about 40 minutes away. So it's tricky to stay here. If you want to stay, you can stay on site and camp. There's the famous flag. That is always a very, very long way up. We've got another one up there as well. So people have been going on a mission, and unfortunately you're not going to see how far away that is. We'll try and show you later on just how far away that is, because it is a mission. So Fraser McConnell on the inside, Hogland and Learhold. Marcus Hogland very nearly made the final here last year. I think he missed it by 3/10 if I remember correctly from talking to him yesterday. Fraser McConnell on the inside has been impressive this season. Learning all these European circuits. McConnell is currently the leader of ARX2. Oh, contact! Hogland out, broken suspension in the wall, and Dan, that was your car.
Yeah, so not going to be so well for the Team Farron crew. Already going to be put to work there, and just goes to show that just the smallest bits of contact in these cars can just destroy your hopes. And a DNF in Q1 for Hoagland. He's getting out the car, so we know he's okay, but a DNF is going to really be shattering his hopes for the points.
Bounced it off the wall on the outside as well, which we saw Martin do. The entry, turn one's pretty quick, isn't it? But we've got a yellow flag at turn one now. They won't stop it because he's offline. But you it's a bit of a melee, and people are going left and right because the Joker's in the second corner, and it's on, the second corner is the opposite direction to the first, which I always love. It's like Lowiak, it's great when it's like that. You see so much action, but you kind of see people shooting off to the Joker from different places. I want to have a look at the replay, but I suspect Hoagland was possibly going Joker and misjudged McConnell's line.
Yeah, so maybe McConnell getting the rotation of the car, swinging the back out and just clipping Hoagland, but it was unfortunate for him there. But we saw Leohol go into the Joker lap then. It looked like he had to go in a little bit more cautiously because of Hoagland's car, so that could affect the times of these other two guys.
Fraser McConnell might respond on this lap and go Joker, jumps it up over Hollis's jump. Some of the landing marks on that jump are a very long way from the crest. So we rode around this morning and there are some big jumps out there, aren't there?
Yeah, massive ones, and these cars, even these cars jump really far.
McConnell is on it. So say Fraser McConnell leads ARX2. He took his first ever Rallycross win at round 1 in Mid-Ohio a few weeks ago. And he will be heading along with myself and some of the TV crew over to the States next week. ARX of Gateway at the Worldwide Technology Raceway near St. Louis will take place next weekend, and you'll be able to watch all the action live online from ARX and ARX2. So the likes of Scott Speed and Tanner Faust, Steve Arpin battling it out. Fantastic series, which I say McConnell leads ARX2 over there, so he's going to have a busy week as well. So he's going to go Joker this time. Dan, have a look at this for us and let us know what you think.
Yeah, so hopefully he doesn't have to scrub off too much speed here, but very cautious on the way in. But you can see they've watered the track before we started racing here, so maybe not such a flick in as we might see from the guys later on today. Leo taking a big amount of curve there.
That's interesting. That section before, when we rode the track this morning, was entirely gravel, and we said, the drivers had said they didn't know whether or not the tarmac was still underneath, and it is.
Yeah, so you can still see a patch of tarmac there on the inside, just at the bottom of the curb on the right hand before the velodrome. That's going to add to extra grip throughout the weekend.
So they said that basically the whole Joker merge was gravel. We'll have another look in the next one. McConnell's going to take it. Is he going to go faster? Yes, he is. So he goes 6/10 quicker. So McConnell wins race 2. Farren's crew with a bit of work to do to get Hoagland's car repaired. DNF him. Petter Leohol in second with a 3:12.9. McConnell takes it. We're going to have a look at the replays. There you go. McConnell leads the 6 drivers that have been out. What have we got? 21 drivers in RX2. Let's take a look at the replay of turn 1. So Dan, I want you to talk us through Hoagland here in the yellow car, your old car.
Yeah, so Hoagland's not getting the best of starts, and McConnell then slotting in. There's already no contact here, and just looked like Hoagland there on the brakes. He touched the brakes and maybe had a slight bit of lock on the car and caught the back of Fraser.
You know, when Fraser turned in, we've seen that here before, that when you're right alongside and the steering lock angle is quite a lot in turn 1, so as the wheel turns out from the arch, I wonder if he's caught the rear of the arch, then you get that launching effect.
Yeah, potentially, and it also broke the suspension. You can see there's collapse there, so it wasn't very good for him.
Fraser McConnell takes it and leads on the timesheets. We've got some very quick drivers still to come.
Fraser, you're like bolt off the starting blocks there, and the rest looked relatively easy. A good win.
Yeah, I mean, honoured to be here. This is a legendary track, and big up the Bold Scooters letting me be here. My uncle Sal helped me out a little bit, and it's a pleasure being at this legendary track. We need to find some more speed, but we're going to go back. And overall, I'm happy with the win, so yeah, go far from here.
And how aware were you of what happened in sort of turn 2, putting Hoagland in the wall?
I just came around the second lap, saw him in the wall, but just full focus forward from now on. So.
Did you feel a touch?
I had a touch in the back and gave me a little understeer, but corrected and went forward.
And give us a sense of what it means to you to be racing here at Hollius. It's such an amazing track.
I don't think it's fully sunk in it. I mean, I was playing this track on my video game last year, and now I'm in the car on the starting line and talking to you, so it's pretty cool. Keep
up the good work. Cheers, Fraser.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
Monster Energy rig that overlooks, where is it? Overlook turn 2, I think, isn't it, Dan Norley? I'm just looking out there to see where it is. I can't actually see it. I think it's turn 2.
Yeah, usually is, but we can't see it out of our window.
No, thanks to an array of deck chairs just on the hillside over at the side there. It's pretty crowded here, but there'll still be a few people coming out of the woods slowly. Let's take a look back at the Hoglund incident. I want to see whether or not they touched wheels, so we're going to take another look at the replay now. I haven't had a goose at this. Here we go. So watch for when he turns in. No, it's the rear, wasn't it? Wow, it's weird.
Yeah, no, so I think where he's gone on the brakes, he's got a slight bit of lock on the car, and then as where he braked, the front wheels weighted, and it turned him in where he had that slight bit of lock on the car, turned him in, and then had to correct to try and pull out of it. But
do you think he was looking to go standard lap? Because for me, he had quite a lot of lock on. If he was looking to go Joker, I think he might have released the lock a bit earlier, but...
Yeah, it looked like he braked a little bit later than Fraser, whether maybe he was trying to get the undercut up over the jump or something, but yeah, just the contact there is really unfortunate. Anton
Markland's been in the wall there before. I mean, it's pretty... it was a fair old impact there. So the speed through turn 1, what's turn 1, Dan? 4th gear?
Yeah, about 4th gear, and when you come off the normal lap, not from the line of these cars, you can take it pretty much flat in an RX2, so
yes.
It's quite fast.
So take a look at this. We mentioned the flag a minute ago. This is where the flag is, okay? So it looks... Is the flag close or is it far away? This is the game we played in Norway with the cows.
We need a little bit of a tune here, don't we? We need to start having some music.
Look how far away that is. That gives you a good idea. That is a very... Someone has been on a mission, Dan.
Yeah, so they saw this hole in the trees and decided to climb up a hill with a giant flag.
Every year it's up. I'm wondering, do they leave it there? It'd be haggard, wouldn't it? If you left that flag there all year, it'd be in tatters, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I was out here earlier in the year for the Nordic round, and I tried to spot it, and I couldn't see it.
Okay, so they're putting it up there. So someone, maybe they know, they must have a dirt bike or something, must know. Surely you're not going to go all that way. There we go, the car's on the scoop. So Farran's guys, they ran you. They've got a bit of work to do there, but they're well capable of repairing that, aren't they?
Yeah, so now on their 3rd year of running RX2 cars, so got more experience, and yeah, so it shouldn't be too bad. They can go to the parts truck for the supercar lights and pick up all of the bits they need and hopefully get it put back together and realigned within no time.
Race 3 coming up to the grid. First 5-car lineup of the day. So on the inside of this one, we have Stein Fredrik Akra. Then it's Ben Philip Gunderson, who we know is quick. Sammy Matti Trogan, we know is quick. Jimmy Walfredson, certainly not hanging about. And on the outside, Oliver Eriksson, who has missed 1 point this season. I mean, Kristoffersen set some records last year, but he's won the first 4 events in a row. So 3 of those were perfect scores. Don't think he's had a clean sweep yet. Yes, he has. UK 1 all 4, Q1, semi-final 1, and final 1. So he's had 1 clean sweep in the UK, but 3 max scores. 1 point, Dan, in 4 rounds. You know.
Very impressive, and it just goes to show the consistency of Oliver Eriksson.
I know you had a chat with him earlier. We'll have a chat in a second about just how crazy it is, the detail that he's going into, and that's what makes the difference. He's looking to become the winningest driver in RX2 this season, and I mean by that in the history of RX2. Cyril Raymond at the minute, I think he's on 8, and Eriksson, I think, will equal that here if he wins. It's not going to be easy. It's particularly coming from the outside grid slots. He's got a good start. So it's Trogan in the middle, Gunderson and Trogan contact. Oh, Eriksson though round the outside carries the speed in, contact again, boom! Is that car broken or not? He's got away with it. Eriksson leads though. Very, very similar incident, Dan.
Yeah, very similar there, and it looks like there's a big hole developing there. Do you see that Akra's car just bellied in?
That's where they've covered the road with dirt, and we thought, didn't we? So the drivers all said, look, there's a new dirt section. We were like, that's a bit strange. They said the curb was smaller, and actually now as it's developed, it isn't smaller, is it? The curb is the same, but they put, what, maybe a foot of dirt on top of it, but we already dug through that.
Yeah, that's already digging out, so some track development here. Maybe we're going to see some ruts there where they've tried to fill in where the tarmac was, and it starts to dig out. It might be a bit stronger in some places than others and make it really bumpy.
So I'm looking at the timing screen, and Jimmy Walfredson has gone. Yeah, I was just about to say gone. So Walfredson made it through the Joker and to the first sector. But but has had to park the car, so that's a shame. Frederick Acra and Gunderson both go Joker. They took a lot of curb, didn't they? Everyone took a lot of curb in that left-hander on the first lap.
Yeah, and I think it's just as they transition from the left-hander into the right, where the tarmac has been dug back up, and then there's a big hole there, and they're sort of hitting it as they drop off the curb. They're hitting the hole, and you can see the dirt flying out from underneath the cars.
So Ericsson and Trogan haven't Joker. Now to say Trogan looks to be in trouble here because they're on the back of him already. So Sami Matti Trogan 2.8 down on Oliver Ericsson, who is definitely not going to joke. Is Sami Matti going to go? He's not. So Sami Matti's going to hold these guys up. That's going to play into the hands of the likes of Fraser McConnell. Fraser's fastest lap was a 45.7. So Fraser is 4/10 up on the fastest lap of Oliver Ericsson, who is handing it to everyone here. Ericsson knows this track incredibly well, and Danny spoke to him yesterday about what you were saying, the consistency that's necessary to smash a championship effort like he is.
Yeah, so I spoke to him about his starts and how he's able to get it so well, and he talks to his engineer about what RPM he changes gear at, and from the data he looked at in Norway, I think there was one gear change out of the whole event where he wasn't happy with because he changed gear 100 RPM too early, and that's how precise he's got to be to get the jump on everyone off the line.
And that is incredibly difficult, isn't it? You know, you're listening to an engine, I know they've got shift lights and things, but there's so much going on that to be able to get all your gear shifts within, so basically, you can see there he used a lot of curb on the inside, then ran the car wide and hit the exit sort of berm, didn't he?
Yeah, so lots of dirt building up there, and it's made him go settled offline. And well, for me, I think Ben Phillip could have maybe performed a little bit better in this run, got held up behind Acra and the Joker as well. So
Ericsson hooks the curb on the inside. That is a mistake. Luckily, it's the last lap through. Even if he gets a puncture, he'll make it round, but he didn't need to do that. That's where they've removed that inside curb. Ericsson takes it with a 3:10.6, so he's managed to find the time, and I suspect that might have been in the Joker because he didn't manage to match the best lap time of Fraser McConnell, but he's beaten him by a fair margin there. 0.8 of a second. Walfredson going to get the car recovered. He'll be disappointed with that. So Ericsson 3:10.6, Walfredson a DNF. Sami Matti Trogan possibly holding up Acra, but maybe Acra holding up Gunderson. So Gunderson ended up going Joker with Acra. Maybe will regret that tactically. But it's a quick entry there, and he might have been, if you've missed the breaking point for turn one, you're maybe not going to make it. But Ericsson from McConnell at the minute.
So we can see Oliver Ericsson here, like what I said earlier, what he does with his gear shifts off the line, just to pull the length on everyone, and he just had that gap to slot in front. But we saw Walfredson there in the back of Acra doing very similar to, that was a big hit. We can see the car looks like maybe it was damaged there, and maybe that forced him to retire a bit later on in the lap.
Interesting about Ericsson, I'd always had in my head that to win the start was about the start RPM and the clutch off the line, but what you're suggesting really is that's not the hard part. The hard part is the gear shift from the line to whatever turn one is.
It's a combination of the two. Ollie will almost dump the clutch to get the jump on everyone, but then he'll go back on the clutch to feather it, to keep it within the power band of these cars.
You can see there that rut that's developing in the section, the dirt section. Ericsson, there isn't such a big margin for error of that curb anymore, but it's a win and he leads.
Oliver, great start to the day, your quickest so far. Talk us through that race.
That was good. Had an unlocked draw with P5, but I got a good start, got a good initial launch. I got him on the jump already, and then when we got to the gravel, I got on the line where we drive the normal tracks. I had a bit more grip, I think, there, and from there I could just do my pace. Not a perfect race, some small mistakes, especially last lap here down the hill. But yeah, overall all good, and great start of the weekend.
Yeah, that little mistake towards the end is unusual for you because you're so consistent. Has the track changed? What happened there?
No, it was just, we're pushing the limits. It was 11 cars within 5/10 on practice, so we really have to push every single corner out there. And I just mistimed it a bit, got a bit early, was probably 2 centimeters up too high on the curb, and then hooked me a bit, and which made me get a bit of a slide there. But I just have to check so the car's okay, and we go back and don't do it again.
And that second corner, it looks like it's going to get quite busy over the course of the weekend.
Yeah, the the Höljes turn 1 is quite special, isn't it? Yeah, it's a proper rallycross, you know, when all 5 cars wants for one line. So yeah, but you know, clean start. Just try to do what we do, and hopefully we can take it all the way.
Good job, thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, he wasn't over the moon with a P5 draw. In fact, when you see World, Timmy Hansen, Kevin Hansen, like Guillaume de Ridder's out in P4, a load of people on the outside like, oh, raising their eyes when they see the random draw. They don't really like the outside, but Ericsson there's shown what you can do. Now, on our timing screen here, we've got RX2Q1 number 16 track marker warning. That's for Oliver Ericsson. We think it might have been in the Joker lap, so we're going to have a look. We could be wrong. We'll take a look at this. This is Oliver Ericsson through the Joker lap. And let's see. So Ericsson leading, bottom left of your picture now. Dan?
For me, I think he did it on the first part of the Joker lap. You can see him just touch the marker here. If you look on the inside, the orange marker that he's approaching now, yeah, you can see the marker there wobble. So I believe that's where he's received his warning. Of course, he now gets a warning for that. If he does it again, I believe he's going to get a penalty.
He's very good. I might have to have him removed. He's getting too good too quickly. I don't fancy it. He's after it. No, he's not. Mate, amazing. So just clock the warning, obviously, on the time screen. And yeah, to be fair, that's kind of why they put the bollards in here, isn't it? Is to say, look, this is the point at which you will be warned. Not like, maybe.
Yeah, so... And we can see how floppy it is. It's obviously moved. It's not like a solid post that would have caused damage to his car. It was enough just to move it, make the stewards aware, and that's where he's now picked up his warning.
So he won't want to be hitting those again, because again, if he hits it next time, they might just hit him with a 5-second warning. Going to take a look at turn 1 again. So this was another incident with contact that ended in the wall.
Yeah, so a slow-mo here of the incident for Walfredson, who went to go to the Joker lap but just didn't turn out wide enough, went into the back of Acra and caused damage to his front end. Car looks to be okay at this point, but it didn't seem to carry on for that lap, so... terminal damage.
It's the momentum of the hit there, isn't it? And also, I mean, the weight of a wheel, I don't know, what is it, 30 odd kilos or whatever, but when it's spinning at that RPM, it looks like a small glance, but when it hits the rubber like that, it's boom, isn't it?
Yeah, it is so easy. Like the friction between rubber on rubber, it can cause so much damage. And I think at that point where they made contact, the guys going for the standard lap were on the brakes, and he was still on the throttle to go into the Joker lap because of a later braking point.
Right, cars are on the line and ready for the next one. Simon Olofsson, Morten Asklund, Jesse Kallio, Jami Kalliomäki and Linus Ostland. So Linus on the outside, his dad runs this circuit. He said to me yesterday, he said, oh, I don't talk about the laps I do when the track's shut. So he should expect Ostland to go well. But in the middle of the grid is Jesse Kallio. Kallio's got a reasonable start. There's going to go deep on the brakes, try and go around the outside, ends up in the dirt. Oh, runs over the curb on the inside. Somehow Kallio's got away with that. A train of cars has gone Joker, Asklund, Olofsson, and round Dan.
Yeah, so
rear tyre's gone.
Yeah, rear tyre there, so it looks like he just came off the jump with a puncture and it just pitched him round. Nothing for him to gain the grip after you come off of that slight right jump.
I was going to ask you about turn 1 and the fact that he went sideways over the back of a curb, and that is just not what you want to do. You know, if you go sideways over the back of a curb, the back of it's kind of flat, isn't it? The front of it, and this is what we saw with Ollie Ericsson when he hooked the wheel too much here, and they're all very close to it. But if you do it, you risk pulling the tyre clean off the rim.
Yeah, and he went so deep over the curb, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's maybe even some damage to the bottom of the car because it's that much of a step on the other side. As we can see from the background, it's still going around. But he would have dragged so much dust. You can see there, all the guys there going slightly wide. And where he went wide, he would have dragged all the gravel onto the track, so making the lap time slower.
Olofsson getting past Asklund over the jump. Ostland just behind them. These three having an absolute ding-dong of a battle. Kalliomäki out front. I think he's back just for this weekend. I can't remember. So many drivers that I've been reading about this week. So we've got such a big entry. Kalliomäki leads, but Olofsson's only 1.3 back. What do we think the Joker is here? Can you remember?
I think for supercars, it's roughly 3 seconds. But I know that with the RX2 cars, the Joker lap the difference is a bit less because they're able to rotate the cars faster through the chicane than the supercars.
That's mad, isn't it? So it's often the other way round, particularly if it's somewhere like Estring where there's a power run out of the Joker uphill. But there we go. You can see the tarmac that's now appearing out of the loose. They dragged the loose all over that section of road. There was always a run of tarmac on the inside. Oliver Ericsson was saying to me, no, Kevin Ericsson saying to me yesterday, there used to be tarmac on the inside. They've dragged the gravel over it, but it's now been loosened off. So you've now got tar on the inside, gravel on the outside, a big step off it. Kaliamaki hoping he's got enough. He's got the gap up to 1.7, so maybe that's going to be enough, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, I think these guys are probably going to need roughly 2.5. We'll see the gap across the line as Kaliamaki's going to have to go. So we've got 1.8 for him now. We'll see where the gap is when he comes out of the Joker lap.
Oh, he's two sideways in, clips one of the markers, might get a warning. Certainly not going to get the exit speed he was hoping for. He's going to get taken by one, maybe two. Does he lose another position? Contact at the merge. Arslan goes round Ostlund in the side. That might get investigated, to be fair, because Kaliamaki, in theory, has to give way to the standard lap. You know, if you turn across on Dan, they'll probably judge that by how far up the inside he was.
Yeah, I mean, they were sort of side by side, and for me, I think Kaliamaki there was maybe a bit too aggressive trying to cut across the front.
So stewards might look into that. We'll let you know if they do. Olofsson is going to take this. Olofsson at the minute is in P7 in the standings, but what's really of interest to us is where is Kallio? So once these guys across the line, we'll try and find him. He's up, heading towards the velodrome now is Kallio, and Kallio is P2 in the championship. Jesse Kallio, he's a fair number of points back already. He's got a rear left puncher, which he's had from turn one, and Danny's managed it really well. I mean, managed the damage from the look of the car.
Yeah, and it's really important for him to carry on. We've already had 2 DNFs from RX2, so for him to carry on to get to the finish, it already bumps him up a couple of places to the guys that are retired.
So Jesse Kallio this year has qualified third. He got the TQ in Belgium, qualified second in the UK, qualified fourth in Norway. But we said, with a big entry like we've got here in Sweden, it can be absolutely crucial for your championship hopes. Jesse Kallio is going to drop to the bottom of the table here. Simon Olofsson is, I don't know where he's going to slot in. Let's have a look. They're all off. So that was not a fast race, and that's thanks to all the racing that was going on in it. You know, they're racing the clock. Good mix of nationalities at the top. Look, we've got a Swede followed by a Jamaican, a Swede, and a couple of Norwegians. So we're going to see a fantastic battle. But someone who might not feature is Kallio. He's going to have to do a brilliant job for the rest of qualifying to make it through to the semis.
Simon, that was a very busy race, but you came out on top. Talk us through it.
I did a really bad start. We got to fight a little bit to get up. We took a win, so we're happy with that.
I can see that you're pumped.
Yeah, always. In hurries.
Thank you.
Always pumped in Hollius, yes. So Kallio in the middle of the grid here, say second in the championship, has a shocker here. So goes out wide, hooks one wheel in the dirt, and then Dan rides the curb. But it's that last bit where he popped back over the curb that's done the damage.
Yeah, well, it looks like his rear wheel there, and then we can see him spin out. So, but yeah, lucky not to get collected. We can see him riding all the way along the curb and then off at the end as well. Was a big impact. And then as he comes off the jump here, it caused him to spin. But you can see the dirt that's now been dragged over the track, which would have cost these guys some time, not able to carry the same sort of speed through turn one as the other guys previously.
Kaliamaki, this was Kaliamaki's Joker, just sent it a bit too early and then has had to back off, get back on, back off, get back on, and has lost time and places. So comes in for the merge look. Okay, he is, for me, he could close that door. I think the stewards will have a hard time deciding on that one, but there you go. I reckon they'll have a look at it. So we've got one race to go in Q1 of RX2. It is round 5 for these guys. They have France and South Africa to come after this. So France, of course, is at the start of September, so they've got quite a break now, having had a hectic start to the season. Spain, Belgium, UK, Norway, Sweden, then France, I say, not until September, and then South Africa in November. Dryers in Lavera, Haug, Volders and Michalak in this one. Michalak is going to get the whole shot. Volders trying to go around the outside. Gryazin slots into third. Better start to the weekend than he had in Norway, Dan.
Yeah, so luckily he isn't going sideways on his roof this time through turn one, but he's got himself into the Joker lap, the only driver to go in, so he's now got to focus on bringing the gap down, and we can see from the back of the shot he's already on the back of Albert Oliveira.
Yeah, to be fair, tidy time to do that, I think, because with everybody else going through turn, and that's again one of the advantages here, a bit like Norway. If there is a squabble in turn 1 and 2 and you go Joker, you can immediately get on the back of the pack, but if there isn't a squabble, you stand to be in the traffic. You know, he now really needs Albert to go Joker.
Yeah, he is going to be in desperate need, because it is very hard to pass here at Julia, so you can see there already in the gravel there is one sort of line that everybody takes, and if they drop off of that line, then they're going to be losing some grip. But Albert now has gone to the Joker already.
Ideal for Gryazin. So Gryazin then on the standard lap gets past Oliveira. Now he's going to try and catch up to the back of Haug. Go on, Albert Oliveira. Michalak leading from Volders and Haug. What's the gap? Is 3 back to Gryazin for Michalak. So Michalak can go Joker now. Probably hold his position, but we'll see where's Gryazin when it comes over the next timing line, see if he's closing that gap down on the leader or not. Nice line through there, and he's not. So Michalak's doing well here. That's .1. What's his lap times like? Well, we've only got the first lap, so let's see as he comes over the line now.
Michalak with a 47.1, which
is not
right, looks sort of equal with Ursula Arsklund, that's down in 12th and 13th. So Oliver Ericsson's fastest lap was a 45.8.
Yeah, amazing. Now, Dan Rook, you had one international win, haven't you?
I have.
And where was it?
It was here.
What did it mean to you to win at Hollius?
I mean, obviously I'm not a Swede, so probably not quite as much as what the Swedes would feel were winning at home, but second best to have been able to win in the UK. This was the one that everyone wants to win because of just how pumped the atmosphere is here. It's rallycross heaven.
And the track too is just amazing, isn't it? You know, this is a hard track to learn, and I think you kind of have the immediate respect of the fans, whatever their nationality, if you take the win here. Was that how you felt?
Yeah, I felt that way. There was a huge reception after the final, which was fantastic for me, because we're going to see now the Joker merge between Michalak and Gryazin is going to be very close.
I'm really surprised Gryazin got past, so Gryazin must have banged it. He did a 46.9 or a couple of tenths quicker. 46.6, sorry. Michalak did a 46.9, so yeah, Michalak lost 3 tenths on the previous lap. So it's about 3 seconds then, isn't it, looking at the gap? But yeah, go on, so yeah, the podium, just great feeling.
Yeah, awesome, and well, we have Speaker Gunnar in the infield who does the interviews as well, and he just gets everyone absolutely fired up, so it's great to be amongst it and have that reception.
Gryazin is going to take the final race of Q1 for RX2 from Michalak. And he is 9th at 4.7 off, so podium or nodium. That's a nodium at the minute. Dan Rook's had a podium though. Thanks Bucky for the podium or nodium. You need to watch ARX if you want to keep up with all the jokes. Gryazin takes you from Michalak, Volders, Haug and Oliveira. Where are they going to slot in? Not on the top page. So there you go. Oliver Eriksson wins Q1 from Fraser McConnell and Martin Enland. Learhol 4th. Frederick Ackra is in 5th. So the guys are in the early races. Did the track develop? Has it got a bit rougher? I think that's just quick drivers at the top of the standings, but we'll see. Let's take a look back at this one. So whole shot, Michalak was quick on the mark there. Yeah, so I had a look at the reaction times as they came off the line, and it was a whole tenth faster than the next closest guy off the line. So super quick reactions, but getting slightly caught out there in the gravel that's been dragged on from Kallio in the previous race, and that would have definitely affected their race time. Good job by Gryazin to go Joker 1. We weren't sure when we looked at the gap because Michalak edged him by a tenth on the previous lap, and then he took 3 tenths off him on the lap which really mattered, which was on prior to Michalak's Joker. So Michalak's Joker was 50.7. Gryazin's was a slower Joker, but it was off the start. So Gryazin did a better job during the course of the race, and he takes the win.
Vasily, lots of Latvian flags flying for you there. Good to get a race win. Did you know you'd come out in front after the Joker?
No, it was just experiment. We hope that we will go to the main track, but after the first corner I decided to go to the Joker.
And good to get a race win. Time not in the top, but good?
Yeah, it's very nice to win heat. It's very good, but yeah, I know that I can be a little bit faster.
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, a wave from Gryers in as he takes the win, but he's not in the top 8 in this one. As we say, Oliver Eriksson wins Q1, Fraser McConnell P2, then it's Enland and Learholt, Frederick Acra in 5th place. So can anyone beat Oliver Eriksson? He's got 4 wins in a row. He's only missed a point, but it's Fraser McConnell, his teammate, who might put a bit of pressure on him. So more RX2 coming up later. So that is Q1 done for RX2. We're heading on to Euro RX. Just take a little cheeky look out the window. Can't resist a supercar in the distance. Dan, this should be exciting. First of the supercars out on track.
Yeah, really, it's going to be really great to see what they can do, and another really action-packed grid here. We've got 5 races for the European supercars, so it's going to be great. See what they can do. Random draw for Q1 as well, so some of the faster guys mixed in with the slower ones. It's going to be carnage.
Should be a bit of carnage. We always like a bit of carnage. Now, so far, like in RX2, we've seen domination in RX2 from Ollie Eriksson. In Euro Supercar, we've seen dominance from Robin Larsson. Take a look at the standings and you can see where everyone sits. Here we go. Larsson with 2 wins, 2 maximum scores, leading the standings from Thomas Brinson by 9 points. That's pretty decent. JB de Borg and Andrea de Borg have both been up there. Tiedemann is on his 3rd event in a row now. Munich, Ikonen, Evgen, great stuff. Some super quick drivers. I think we should just head down and go racing. Well, there you go. On the line, the man we've just been talking about, the championship leader. Random draw for this one. Let's take a look. My bad, it's not him. It's his teammate Mats Oman. So Mats is a legend here in Sweden. We'll tell you why in a minute. Outside him, Pontus Tiedemann, Sten Andre Johansson just inside, and Mikko Ikonen, who had a good run last time out in Norway. Tiedemann with a clutch kick, and it's stalled on the line. Mats Oman going to try and go around Ikonen. Ikonen going to run him deep in turn 1. Oman runs a little bit wide, but he'll hold on to the standard line. Joker out, then in goes Johansson. Has gone Joker. He's messed it up, unfortunately. It's 2 of the markers on the inside. So at the minute, it's Ikonen from Mats Oman.
Yeah, so Ikonen there in the ex-Rainis Nittis Ford Fiesta. So that car has won the European Championship. So we know he's got a good bit of kit underneath him. And
Right, last year there. So there we are. So the reigning champions car from last year is out in front again at Julius. So Ikonen did well in Hell. He was, let me see, where did he qualify? Qualified 11th, but then made it through in 3rd in the semi, and he came 4th, so only missed a podium by 1 spot. A little bit back, he went out in the semi, so he qualified 7th in the UK, but went out in the semi. So a mixed season for Ikonen. As you say, you know the car's good, and Oman's gone Joker, so we need to talk about Mats Oman. Mats Oman is paralysed from pretty much the chest down. He drives this car entirely with hand and arm controls. His elbow basically goes up and down the gears. You can imagine swinging your elbow out from the side of your body. That's how he goes up and down the gears. He normally has one of his gloves taped onto the steering wheel, onto like you would see a knob in some of the drivers when they're driving a truck. And he gets a massive reception here because everybody can appreciate that what a legend he is. And that is one of the best things about motorsport. It doesn't matter whether you're male or female. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't even matter if you're differently abled, like Oman is. You can still get amongst it, and he is out there sending it in a supercar. And Ikonen has responded to Mats Oman and has gone Joker. So look for Oman on the inside. Ikonen should hold this, but Oman's going to be right there. He might get up the inside. The crowd will like that. Oman into the lead.
Yeah, so great job there by Mats Oman, and Ikonen there looking a bit flustered and getting all crossed up and sideways, and that's given Oman now the comfortable gap behind him that he can just drive his own lines and not worry about the pressure.
So Mats Oman running, staying in the same stable as Robin Larsson, so he'll know that the car's good because Larsson's done such a good job over the last couple of rounds, winning both of them. In fact, Larsson has taken TQ semi-win and final win in both rounds. Hasn't managed to clean sweep yet. He missed 1 qualifying session in the UK. I think who took that? It was Karai, wasn't it? Karai took a session in the UK. Look at that jump as well. That's a great shot, isn't it, of the exit of turn 1.
Yeah, and it's quite an aggressive landing on that jump. I know when I was driving the RX2 cars, it was always a big thud when you landed off it, because it's kind of you're just driving off like a cliff, yeah, if you like. So it's a big impact down the bottom there, so that's why it's so easy for the guys to roll the tyre off the rim if they go too sideways.
And in fact, that's what happened to Kevin Ambring this morning. I was speaking to the team. He missed one of the sessions which he needed to not do because he didn't know this circuit. They put a low tyre pressure in because they knew the heat would come up. Owen's going to take it. The crowd will like that. Nicely done. And they actually rolled a tyre off the rim. So they said a little bit too much steering lock on over the crest. In the background, Tiedemann crosses the line, having stalled at the start. So crossed the jump with a bit too much lock on and pushed the tyre off the rim. So they're sending Mats Omen around. Omen takes it from Ikonen and Andre Johansson. Pontus Tiedemann in 4th place with the stall on the line. Great result for Omen. Here's a look at the start, and you can tell us what happened here. So Tiedemann, good reaction time, but went wrong.
Yeah, so maybe just getting the RPM slightly wrong there off the line, and car gripping up and not able to get the jump and just stalling the car there, not having the right sort of amount of power he needs to drive himself away.
Johansson went joker on the first lap, and again it's that thing of how much do you send it. So this was a pretty decent, it keeps it tidy, doesn't he, actually, Omen, in the joker here. You can come into that joker very spectacular, and we've seen the likes of Petter Solberg do that, but if you get it wrong, there is zero runoff, and that's why we're seeing people turning in a bit too early, not getting it quite right.
It is a very difficult one to get right, and you've got to judge a braking point right. You have to try and scrub off as much speed as you can on the tarmac just before you hit the gravel and then get the rotation, so it is very tricky.
Very tricky indeed. Ikonen beaten by Omen. Fantastic result for the Swede at home in Hollius.
Matt, superb drive. Looks like you're really getting to grips with this new Audi.
Yeah, it feels really great. The car feels very good.
And good to get a race win at home here in Hollius. Tell us what it's like to drive around this circuit.
Yeah, Hollius is the best tracks in the world.
Well done, thank you.
The smile tells you all you need to know. Hollius is the best track in the world, and the fans are applauding that straight away. I have to say, this is one of my favourites. It is right up there. It's not just the event; it is the track. We had a bit of a legends race last night in the buggies, and Graham Rodemark, who you'll know as Kevin Hansen's spotter, was saying. First of all, he said how terrible he was in the buggy, which was hilarious. But he said, "I don't care." He said, "I've driven Hollius." He goes, "It's like a massive box ticked." He was like, "Oh, what a track! What a track!" And you could see that Omen felt the same way. See the grid for race 2. Peter Hedstrom on the inside, then it's Ale Fucik, Paulus Pleskovas, JB Dubourg and Tamas Karai. So Karai is not shy in turn 1. JB Dubourg has been bang on the pace all year. Dubourg at the minute is in P3 in the standings behind Larson and Brenterson. So keep your eyes peeled for those two particular. Supercar car number 45 track marker warning is Tiedemann, so he must have done something cheeky trying to make up the time. That's fine. JB Dubourg over the jump in this one. Pleskovas and Fucik have both jokered. for everyone else too. So Hedström has had a bit of a mixed season.
Yeah, so maybe a bit of contact a few times where he's not been too happy and has messed up his race, but he has been very competitive. The speed has always been there, and he was fast as well when he was here. For the Nordic series, he was up there competing with Robin Larsen. It was between him and Larsen and the two Ericssons as well, so the speed is there for him.
Hedström be hoping for a final result here. He's made it to the semis so far in both rounds this year. UK and Norway. He was 4th and 6th in the semis, having qualified 12th and 7th. Or Karai runs wide in the dirt outside the commentary position, but you are looking at Hedström on his final lap into the Joker. Smoothly in, he's going to get De Bourg here relatively easily. Nicely hooks the curb on the exit and doesn't clip the armco. And Dan, that's crucial. We see a lot of people, they tag the armco at the merge with the rear left and it pitches them round.
It is so easy to come out of the Joker lap, try and get too greedy on the throttle, and it just sends the car out wide and they just tag it with the back end. It's not very much contact, but it's just enough to spin them round.
That's Oman's time, bottom right of your screen, 306.8. Hedström flies it. You can't beat a bit of turbo wastegate chatter, can you? Over the line, 3:03.2, 3.5 seconds, nearly 3.6 seconds faster. He's opened the door already, so Hedström is in a good mood. And if you've watched our previous interviews with him, you'll know he isn't always in a good mood. So hopefully today be a bit smilier. Has had quite the ride in this one. We'll check the starts in a minute and you can you judge for yourselves whose fault you thought it was. Crosses the line though. Better than a DNF and better than being in the wall, which he very nearly was. Hedström takes it. JB De Bourg, Karai, Pleskova and Vujic. This is where they go. Hedström and De Bourg to the top of the table. I have to say Hedström, look at that. He's 1.8 quicker than De Bourg was. De Bourg goes quicker than Oman too. So this is looking more like it from Peter Hedström. Okay, here's the start. So watch for Vujic in the green car on the inside. He gets collected by De Bourg. So he was totally innocent, basically. He was kind of, we need to see what happened. So did De Bourg move across too quickly towards the inside on...
I think De Bourg actually got a touch from behind.
Do you think Pleskova spat De Bourg, or maybe we're going to have another look in a minute?
I think De Bourg had a better start than Pleskova and got his back end touched and it turned him in front of him.
I still think Karai should have gone Joker. I know it's easy for us to say, isn't it, Dan? And you know for yourself, when you're outside, you go, you should have done this, mate. But when you're in the car, the decision making is not so easy. No,
it's super high temperatures in the car, adrenaline's pumping, and to be able to make that split-second decision after making contact, it's a very strong ask.
Well, Peter Hedström didn't get caught up in those first corner incidents, and at the minute, he is fastest in Q1.
Peter, the crowd really enjoyed that. You must have enjoyed at least getting a clean race as well as a quick one.
Yeah, it was a clean race, but me and Karai got out in the first corner, so something in the steering was a little wrong, I think. But yeah, we have fine, good speed for this weekend. It was fastest in the warm-up this morning, so yeah, I look forward for this weekend.
Thank you.
Our next cars are on the line and ready to go already, so let's take a look at the lineup for Q1 Race 3. Rodolphe Audran on the inside, Daniel Doran, Lucas Walfredson, Andrea De Bourg and Mandy August. So Mandy August is where in the standings? That's one good result and one bad one. Yeah, made it to the semis in the UK, but only 14th in Norway, so we know the car's quick on the outside. Andrea De Bourg is someone who's been bang on the pace, but it's Walfredson with the fastest reaction time in the middle. It looked like it was. 0.444, going to get the whole shot. Oh, very careful through turn one. I have to say, I think it's a good decision making there. Audran goes Joker lap. But yeah, Andrea De Bourg pretty sensible through turn one, but Walfredson was super quick, wasn't he, off the line?
Yeah, such a fast reaction times and able to take advantage of his position on the inside of De Bourg off the grid as well to take the lead. But he's now pulling a gap, it seems, to Bourg as well.
the Clio that used to have the amazing 5-cylinder engine in it from a Renault van, I think it was, if I remember correctly, when they had to have an engine from the family, but now we've got the rule where you can have a spec engine in the cars, and so a bit more choice for everybody over what lump they put in. I have to say I liked the 5-cylinder. It sounded like the old Group B Audi. It was amazing. Mandy August, P3. Doran is down at in 4th, but Audran having joke. It doesn't seem to be making much headway into those in front.
No, so unfortunately for him, maybe not quite got the pace this time out, but there doesn't, no one really seems to be gaining or closing in on anybody. They all seem to be matching fairly similar. Just looking at sector times there, they are all very similar there on sector times as well.
Walfredson clicks that curve on the inside, Dan, just as you were looking at the timing screen, did what Oliver Eriksson did. Front right looks to still be up, but that's the one, isn't it? And with the removal of that curve, Timmy Hansen was saying yesterday there is just less margin for error in that corner.
Yeah, they have to be so precise through there, and maybe even scrub off a little bit more speed coming down the bottom of the hill just to make sure they don't make that mistake. Because if they nail it, they gain about 3 tenths, but the line is so fine that the risk is almost not worth the time gained.
Yeah, sure, because you take a tyre off the rim and then you've lost the session, and particularly as we say, look at Hedstrom, lights it up through the right-hander. There's that extra bit of tarmac in the background there as well on the run into Velodrome, making a difference. They look quicker into Velodrome to me.
Yeah, I would have said so, able to take a bit of a wider line and then make the corner not quite as tight, so able to carry that a little bit more momentum.
Lucas Walfredson holding on from Andrea de Borg. 4 cars here going to go Joker on this lap. Andy August has managed to gap Daniel Toran behind. Walfredson a little bit more spectacular in the Joker, but I think Andrea de Borg behind, proving that you don't need to be spectacular, but my goodness me, another coat of paint and he'd have been in the end of that barrier, wouldn't he? Oh, and Mandy August was. So Mandy August clipped the barrier that we saw. Dubourg missed by the tiniest of margins. She must have clipped the barrier. Surely she got, all tyres are up. I reckon she's clipped the exit barrier down.
Yeah, and when they're coming out of there with a little bit of sideways motion anyway, just the slightest tap can just flick them all the way around.
Walfredson's going to take it. Target time is 3:03. Might get there. It's going to be close. 3:027. He's done it. Walfredson goes P1. Half a second quicker, and Dubourg is going to go where? 3:03.246. He's just missed it. Dubourg is just behind. Oh dear, Audran in the gravel at the last corner. That's after the jump. So Mandy August gets a little bit of redemption from her mistake, with Audran making a mistake at the jump. Livid, still on the gas over the line, not happy. So Walfredson and Dubourg with a great run there. Doran a little bit off the pace. August and Audran both making mistakes. August clipped the barrier. Audran ran deep after the jump, and you can see there Walfredson takes the lead from Hedstrom. Andrea de Borg is just slightly quicker from JB de Borg. Mats Oman down to 5th. And it's Karai, Ikonen and Stena Andre Johansson. So Walfredson is fastest at the minute. He's 0.5 ahead of Peter Hedstrom.
You're quickest so far, but it looks like you really had to push to get that win.
Yeah, I'm very happy, very good feeling in the car, and yeah, I'm very happy.
Another Swede on top. What's it like to win a race here at Höljes?
Very good.
Tack, thank you.
Very good, apparently, Dan. What's it like to win a race here at Höljes, Dan? Very good?
Yeah, it's very good, actually, yeah. It's quite good to win a race anywhere, really.
Marcus got on yesterday, it was quite okay. But that's well, they didn't win. I think that's why it was only quite okay. This is Walfredson getting the whole shot. Audran in the background, the orange car here, makes a good decision. Look, realises he's lost out. Now, okay, it's a late decision, so potentially could have saved a second, but better to do that than be hung out to dry on the outside of turn 2.
Yeah, he would have lost a lot more time if he had tried to commit to the standard lap. So getting himself out and into the joke lap. There's the clip there on the inside of the barrier you were talking about that I missed, unfortunately, and like you say, that's what happens when they've lost the curb on the inside there.
Let's take a look at Mandy August here. I don't know whether we kept it in the shot. I think we will. So on the gas, look, and clip, boom, there you go. Wow. And that was actually quite a flat hit. You might see it in the background. No, you won't. So Andrea de Borg was super close. Mandy August gave it a good clatter and span around. So Walfredson leads. Look at the crowd down the left-hand side. Look at the countryside in the background. We're in the farmland region. Rally Sweden comes up this way as well. You can see where the spotters tower is, middle right of your picture. We're over the hairpin at the end. Busy spotters tower here. They can't see the whole track, but there's nowhere that they can because it's a long, kind of narrow track. They can see enough, and they say they've got monitors above their heads. Are the monitors and timing screens. There we are, waving at you. Dan Rook's hand, you can see. So they have a monitor, they have a timing screen, they have CCTV of the corners they can't see. The building on the left there, that's timing and the stewards, so they've got a great view. But the grid is ready to go. So here we go, race 4. Rennie Munich, Sondre Evjen, Thomas Brintersen, Steinegel Jensen and Hans-Joran Ostreng. So Sondre Evjen has got Tommy Christophersen stood up here in the spotters tower. Thomas Brintersen is currently second in the standings, having had a second and a third behind Larsen. Rennie Munich's been on it as well. Great start, Brintersen and Munich. Munich contact with Evjen. Evjen up behind. Munich backs out of it, of a train of cars. Brintersen's going to go standard lap. Evjen goes with him. Munich goes joker, but it was a late decision.
Yeah, for me, though, I'm not really too sure why Munich backed out. He would have had the inside line there on Evjen, but unfortunately he backed out and then gone to the joker lap anyway to get himself out. But we are missing somebody.
Yeah, he's parked at the side of the road. I think it's Jensen. I think he's parked at the side of the road outside before the first corner, so maybe an engine failure or something off the line, but we'll have a check for you in a second. It is Jensen.
Yeah, there he is, getting out of the car. So
disappointing, isn't it, to come all this way, having to put all that effort in, and then it ends all that down. You just know what you need.
Yeah, not even getting to turn 1 of Q1 is a bit disappointing, but hopefully we'll see him back out for Q2.
So Brintersen misses the apex in turn 1. I have to say Evjen looked better through there, just ran it up the curb. Different drivers using different amounts of curb though.
Yeah, so the track is so variable. There are a few different lines you can take, but it's very easy to make mistakes as well. It's a super challenging track with a lot of blind corners, so it is easy for these guys to make a small mistake.
Evjen doing a good job with the Christophersen run machine. There's Brintersen with a tidy line through the bottom of the hill. Evjen was good, wasn't he, in Norway? He had his issues in the UK, but I have to say, Sondre Evjen absolutely on a mission here.
Yeah, he is on a mission and keeping to the back of Brintersen. These guys used to race in the RX2s together as Evjen's gone into the joker lap with a big send, but gone too wide, and that's cost him a good second.
It's cost him a place. Rennie Munich's come by, so Rennie Munich, unseen by us, is absolutely flying. So Rennie Munich up into P2. Is 4.1 enough for Brintersen? It probably is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's enough for Brintersen, I would have said, and I think the gap they need is roughly 3.5.
What happened to Evjen there? You know, in the anti-lag, you get a push in the anti-lag when you're fully backed off. It almost looked like he was just pushed straight on, but then there were dirt marks that would suggest maybe lock the front up. Not enough rear bias, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think potentially he could have even locked up all 4 going in there. If you've got all 4 tyres locked up, you're kind of a passenger from then on.
Brintersen goes joker. Is he going to get it right? I haven't seen anyone nail the beautiful joker yet. You know, we're waiting on Larsen in the last race. You were just about to say that, weren't you?
Yeah, I did see from Larsen this morning on his Instagram post. He posted an onboard of him into the joker lap, and you couldn't actually see the corner approaching because he's already started.
Yes, Robin Larsen. We saw some full send business from Norway. Might see some full send business here. Brintersen is 1.5 clear. So Brintersen would like to go top here because obviously any advantage you can get over Larsen would be good. Larsen is still to come, but if Brintersen can't go top at this point, then he definitely won't be top after Larsen's been out. Here we go. He does. Brintersen goes fastest 3.0, 1.6 quicker than Walfridsson. That is very impressive indeed. Got a car in the last corner. I think it's Ostreng has parked it in the last corner on the gravel. Oh, is it a fire? So you can see top right of your corner, very, very top right of your picture. There it is. So it's either a bit of smoke or they're climbing out of the car pretty frantically, which normally suggests that. But it looks steam, smoke. Dan, what do you think? Steam, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe there's a slight tinge of blue to it. I don't know.
Smoke then, maybe.
Maybe a pipe or something.
Having a cheeky little look. This is that tricky situation whether or not to open the bonnet. Brintersen's taking it to DNS. Look, Jensen in turn 1, Ostreng in the very last corner, so total opposite end to the race. Evjen gets P3 after that mistake in the joker, but still up in 6th. So I think Evjen could potentially have got Walfridsson there, looking at how close behind he was Brintersen. So he'd be disappointed, but the worst he'll get is P11, and I suspect he won't drop that far down. So Brintersen has taken it. We've got one race left to come. His championship rival Larson is in that last race, but at the minute, Brinterson is fastest.
Thomas, you're the first non-Swedish driver to win in Q1 in Euros. How was that for you?
For sure, it's good. The race was good. I think we lost a bit of time the first lap, but yeah, still from the second lap and out it was good, so I'm really happy with that.
Good, well done, thank you.
Thank you.
Take a look at Brinterson's start in the middle was a good, and Evshin with a little bit of contact with Munich, but Evshin's just brave, isn't he, there into turn one. Munich backed out surprisingly early.
Yeah, Munich backed out and then dropped back to 4th, actually, which really did hurt his progress there, and then having to go into the Joker.
A late decision not carrying the speed in, because again, if you decide early and you carry the speed in, that's what, half a second, a second?
Yeah, and we see the mistake there from Evgen, which I think he could well have had all 4 wheels locked up, in which case he would have had to dip the clutch as well at the same time to not stall the car.
Brinterson in the Joker, this was a bit more like it. You can see the lines there from previously, but say that Armco is absolutely there on the outside of the Joker should you get it wrong. That's a look at Hollius from the top of our crane. Tom's up there. Shot of the Joker. It's always Tom up the crane if you're wondering. Come rain or shine. Here we go, let's have a look at Tom. Where is he? He won't know he's on. There he is. It's Tom. And he's waving. Tom Jeffs, everyone. Loves cycling if you're interested, and spends all day up cranes. I'm not joking. I've been up his crane. I went up the crane, much to his and Steve, the director's delight. They sent me up the crane and met it, and then laughed and switched the controls off. So I mean, they can control the crane from the bottom. I'm not allowed because I'm not licensed, but they can send me up on it. So they sent me up and then switched the controls off, left me up high and dry. But Tom is not always dry. My poor Tom, the worst one was Montalegre with the snow. So he came down and he's got quite long hair, Tom, and he looked like a Yeti, basically. He was frozen hair and everything. And but he did say in Abu Dhabi, when me and Dan were sweating in 40-degree heat, that at the top of the crane there was a nice breeze. So it's not always bad. But thanks to Tom, because he's brave for being up there. That's nearly always your Joker merge shot, ladies and gentlemen. You can find him on Twitter. So there's your crowd. All the seats get left there pretty much overnight. There's a bit of carnage around there. Happy Street is behind where they are. In fact, we can possibly get a shot of Happy Street from one of our high cameras. There's your championship leader, Larson. Last of the cars pulling up to the grid. And then we're going to get these guys sent. Here we go. Final race of qualifying for Q1 Euro RX from Hollius. Mario Barbosa, Ola Christian Temte, Laurent Bouliot, Robin Larson and Attila Moser. So Larson here, no disrespect to the others, needs the whole shot because these guys are not as fast as he is. You know, let's call it as it is. He's the championship leader. He's won both rounds. You know, he's been TQ, semi-win, final win. A slot 4 start is not ideal, but he should get a good start in the XEKS machine. Decent traction. I think he's going to get it. Barbosa's got a good start on the inside, but Larson's late and deep. Lovely sight there into turn 1 and then into turn 2. A little bit of long wheels behind him. Barbosa runs a bit deep, but that's exactly what Larson needs. Look at the flow of the guy straight over that first jump.
Yeah, he sent that massive, didn't he? But he's already pulled a massive gap to the guys behind him. So already up 1.1 seconds, we can see there from just the first half lap. So yeah, incredible stuff there from Robin. He did what he had to do to get out in front, and he knows he's got to put the time in.
No, he's definitely not going to joke until the last lap. I'm almost certain of that because all the cars are behind him. He won't want to be behind. So expect Larson to hammer home the laps here. Moser went Joker on lap 1. Just trying to see if we've still got all our cars or if Ola Christian Temte might have gone because he hasn't appeared in sector 2 yet. So I think Ola Christian, unfortunately, is... Oh, no, he's still going. So from the commentary box, he's still going. But he's a fair way back. So you're looking at Barbosa. Now, what is it? Bert Barbosa, isn't it?
Bert Barbosa, yeah.
We need to go see Barbosa and explain this if you missed the last round. Anyone who drives that car has the nickname Bert, which is why you'll sometimes hear Andreas Backer called Bert and sometimes Dan Rook. That's an ex-LD Motorsports car, isn't it? Liam Doran.
Yeah.
And it was driven by Andrea. Actually, so would that have been the car that Bakker had won here then?
Yes.
Yes.
In 13, yeah.
Yeah, so Bakker had won his first, that was his first supercar win, wasn't it? Was here at Hollius, and then he went on to win in France. So he took both of her to listen to Larson. Just the commitment through that first corner over the curb. And again over the jump.
Yeah, you can see where everybody else has been landing by the scuff marks on the floor, and he's been landing beyond that.
He's landing almost to flat, isn't he? I mean, I was watching this morning Christian Sabo in practice, and the car just landed beautifully. Bulio in front of Moser. Is it Moser? I think it is. No, maybe it's Moser. I don't know. I was too busy talking about Larson. So yeah, we saw Sabo land to flat this morning, and again, you know, you just see the way that the car just squashes the road. So Larson's going to go Joker this time round. Let's see if he gives us what we're looking for in terms of a Hollius Joker. Through turn 1, clip the curb, into turn 2. Straight up the inside of a car which was in his line. It's not bad. I think compromise there, probably down by the car, but you can see what you've got to get done if you want to do this. So Larson's best lap at the minute is a 43.2. That is a full 3/10 quicker than Brinderson went, as we see the merge in the background. Barbosa slotting in.
Go on, Bert.
Yes, Bert. Go on. Look at Larson though, he's in the distance, it's ridiculous. You can see in the rear of your shot there into Velodrome, he is over the jump, he's absolutely checked out. Larson's putting down a marker here at home in Sweden, he crosses the line, 2:59.1, he's the first person to dip into the 2-minute times, under 3 minutes for Larson, goes top of the timesheets immediately with that. P2 goes Moser. So I think I may have had Moser and Bulio mixed up, but we were really most interested there in a Robin Larson masterclass. 43.2, I say, is a faster lap than Brinson did by 0.3 of a second, and 2:59.1 sees him go 2 seconds faster over the course of the run. So great stuff by Robin Larson. Moser, Barbosa, Bulio, Temte slot in there, and then you see nobody else in that race was on the front page. Robin Larson could do with a minus page to stick himself on. He's so far in front. 2 seconds ahead of his championship rival Brinderson. What a drive by Larson.
Robin, that looked like a Hollius masterclass. You're the first car to go under 3 minutes. Were you happy with that?
I'm always happy with a good start of the weekend. I'm always pretty nervous on the first qualification of the weekend, and I had a pretty easy heat with not Brinderson and all the top drivers, so the start was really important, and it was a guy in the Joker who took it really slow, but overall it was really a good run, and yeah, now we fight against Thomas, I think, in next qualification.
Well done, Tag.
Thank you.
So we said he needed a crucial start last year as well. Interesting, isn't it, that he said he's always nervous before Q1. I think that's partly the pre-event energy, but also it's the randomness of the grid, isn't it? Yeah, you don't have to race the quick guys, but you also know the quick guys won't do anything stupid, and if you lose the start, you won't lose the whole race.
Yeah, it's almost as if the start in Q1 is just as important as the start in the semis and the finals, because you've got to get out in front of the guys that you're in with that are, going to be slower than you.
Yeah, particularly. So this last definitely compromised there, because he won't have known what was going on. I think it was Ole Christian Temte who'd gone Joker. Because he got lapped, unfortunately, he gets a DNF, even though he tried to continue. This was one of the tight Joker lap merges. That was Barbosa slotting in. But it was Larson who took it, and it's Larson who leads after the first session. Great job by him. Here are those standings. Larson at the top of the table. Doesn't show by the margin, though. It was 2 seconds, which is incredible over a driver like Brinderson. Then Walfredson doing well up in third. Munich in fourth. He was compromised on his Joker entry. Peter Hedstrom, I think, had a pretty clean run. Andrea de Borg in sixth. Evshin made a big mistake, which I think could have seen him up in the top 3 in this session. So keep your eyes on Sondre Evshin. JB de Borg there. Mats Oman, fantastic. What a legend. Karai, Ikonen and Moser at the minute are in. If you look down the list, Barbosa, Andre Johansson, Bulio, Thoren. Yeah, there's a host of drivers. We've got 25 drivers, I think it is, or 24 drivers in Euros. So there's plenty, all to play for, So that's Euros done as well. These are long old sessions, aren't they? 15 live races in a row for you, but we've got the 5 maybe most important if you're a World Championship fan, the 5 big races coming up now. Let me tell you, you need to hold on for the last race, because for a random draw, it's unbelievable. But we've got a number of our championship front runners are on the outside here. You've seen what you've got to do to try and get the job done into turn 1, and they've got to get the job done because this championship is super close at the top. Take a look at the standings as we come into round 6. There they are, finally. I'm sure you enjoyed looking at me and Dan for a few extra seconds. Timmy Hansen leads the standings by 1 point from his brother Kevin. Now, if that looks a bit different than you were expecting, don't forget Anton Markland was DQ'd from the entire event in hell. So that means the qualifying points are reissued, the semi-points are reissued, and so on. Backer at third, Baumanis, Gronholm, Timosyanov, Dora and Scheider. Now, just a little heads up for you. If you added the points together of Wiemann and Niklas Gronholm, and okay, that's not super realistic, but if you added their points together, they would be on 117. So what might have been for Niklas Gronholm if he hadn't had to have that emergency appendicitis? He was incredible when we came to hell, and I think we can expect to see big things here from all 3 of the cars that are here from GRX. Well, there you go. First 5 competitors on the grid for World. The Monster Energy girls are down there as we get the World Championship underway. Let's see the grid for Q1, race 1. Ollie Bennett, randomly drawn on the inside. Then it's Bachuska, Christian Sabo, Kjetil Larsen, one of our wildcard drivers here. Kevin Hansen on the outside. Remember, 2nd in the World Championship at the minute. Got a couple of guys in here. Well, Larsen, of course, doesn't have to play sensible World Championship tactics here. So Kevin, like Robin Larsen earlier on, has got to try and get a good start. Same for Sabo. What are they going to do? Listen to that low rumble. The place has almost gone quiet enough to hear a pin drop as the world drivers get down there, but you won't hear anything over the anti-lag. Good start, Kevin Hansen on the outside. Sabo maybe drop back. Bennett's got superpower on the run down the turn 1. 4 cars side by side. Kevin Hansen all the way out the dirt. Got to avoid the curbs. Managing. Bachuska whole shot. Sabo goes Joker. Kevin Hansen gets released there from what was going to be 4th into 2nd place. So Kevin Hansen recovers from being on the outside of 4 cars. There's dirt flying. I wonder if Bachuska made a mistake in that section. He hasn't. So Bachuska still leads. It's Bachuska from Kevin Hansen.
Super job there by Kevin Hansen to keep himself out of the gravel trap, having to rotate the car so he's facing the outside of turn 1 and just full gas and try and drive himself away from the what could have been in the gravel trap.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw what happened earlier on in Orange too, that if you go sideways backwards over that curb, you're taking a tire off the rim. Bachuska had a problem in Norway, so he touched the launch control button, I believe, on the handbrake during the course of the race. Maybe it was on the wheel. You're not allowed to do that. The FIA say, oh, it could be traction control, etc. GCK is slightly disputing that, let's say. Fair enough, because that's a little bit ongoing. As you see Larsen come out from the Joker behind Bennett and Sabo, who went on the first lap. So Sabo, the leader of the guys who hasn't jokered, but overall Bachuska the leader. And I say, I think he did well last time in Norway. He was unlucky with that DQ. A number of people have been disqualified for it over the years. Rustad is one I remember. Dan, there's so much going on in the car. It's really easy to hit a button when you don't mean to.
Yeah, so he could have been grabbing trying to go for the handbrake to save himself from a mistake and maybe touch the top instead of the side, and that would have just caught the button that he would have been holding for the launch control. So really got it from there. But we're seeing good pace from him here. He was fast in practice, but Kevin's...
Oh, Bennett's out. So Bennett's... Or is he out, or is it a mistake? Front right, so the steering's broken. He might try. He's going to park it or take it. Whatever happens, Bachuska leading. Kevin Hansen's got Joker. And in the background, although he's very sideways, he is in front of Sabo. So Bachuska now, 3.7 the gap. There's Bennett. Oh, he's taking it up the exit road. Good lad, Ollie. Ollie's tried to get it out of the way. Very gentlemanly. Bachuska. Oh, big mistake. And that's going to cost him. He's put a wheel in the dirt, Dan.
Yeah, that was a huge moment for him there. And where he was sideways out of the right-hander, which we said you had to be careful on, he's lost so much time.
He has indeed. So Bachuska had a big gap. What was it, 3.7? I think he's lost 4/10. It looks like. Watch for Kevin on the inside. Bachuska in the Joker now. Kevin Hansen going to try and recover from turn 1. Bachuska can't get on the gas quite, and that mistake has cost him the win.
Yeah, he could have got out there in front of Kevin Hansen, and just that one small mistake has cost him there. And it just goes to show what level you have to be at this World Championship.
Yeah, it does. And Kevin Hansen, what a brilliant recovery. We'll see the replays in a minute, and you'll see what a pickle he was in turn 1. And to come from that, and to come from what was 4th until people split to the Joker to take the win, Kevin Kevin, it's that sense of relief that he's going to have got the job done. So Kevin Hansen coming round. What's the time going to be? Over the line, 2:59.7. So Larson was the only person to go into the 2:59s in Euro, and the first person to cross the line, having had a terrible start, is Kevin Hansen into the 2:59s. Great stuff. Larson would have been quicker by 0.6 of a second, but you can put most of that down to turn one. That's to take nothing away from Larson. We know Larson is world class. I'd love to see him back in the World Championship. Kevin Hansen takes it, good recovery. Baciuszka could have done it. Tiny mistake in the right-hander at the bottom of the hill. Sabo, look, is not far behind them either. Sabo there, the guy that we didn't really spot too much going on with. Larsen didn't feature too much, certainly didn't get in the way, and Bennett did a good job to get his car out of the way after it retired. So well done, Ollie. Unfortunately, though, a mistake here, or a problem here is probably going to see not make the semis. We've got 25 cars. So off the line, look at Kevin on the outside. 4 cars, passenger.
Yeah, so Kevin there, and then just touching his back wheel into the gravel section there, but he would have been, fully on the gas just to try and pull himself out of the gravel there. We see 2 cars into the joke as well. Another angle for Kevin there. You can see the angle where he is got the car rotated out compared to the other drivers.
And to not panic in that situation, and I don't mean it about crashing so much as the situation that you're in. It's like, no, you just don't need it, do you? And he would have known, and he knows he's in that World Championship by the pressure's on, and he's done everything right to get himself to this point. Joking at the right time to split the strategy with Baciuszka.
He would have known before turn 1 that it wasn't going to be a great start for him.
Yeah, so he's gone off the line and it's like, oh, no. This is not what I needed. And then, of course, when you're on the outside of a 4-car sandwich, again, there's just nothing he can do. But Kevin, with a brilliant recovery, what we'd expect of the guy who's sitting second in the World Championship standings at the minute. Kevin Hansen takes the first win of World RX at Sweden.
Kevin, it was very nearly all over in turn 1 there. Talk us through how you recovered to take the race win.
Yeah, turn 1 was a big mess. When you have so much slow guys in your race, you have to survive, and they're not so experienced, and they're here to get the win of the weekend. So they are a bit more crazy, but I survived, and then I made a few mistakes after the Joker and on the last lap when I took Baciuszka. So not a perfect run, but you can have a perfect run with a messy turn 1. But I put together what I could. The car was better now for sure. So yeah, a good start to the weekend, and I have my yellow squad here. So big cheers for them.
Thank you very much. Keep going.
Yellow squad, of course, Kevin referring to both the team that him and Timmy run, for which their driver took part last night in the cross-kart race, which their dad Kenneth took part in as well. But Yellow Squad also kind of, the Yellow Squad fans, we like the backer of Blues. Kevin with that fantastic yellow livery when Peugeot Sport were running the 3 cars, and you can't beat yellow race cars, they're good.
I used to have a yellow road car.
There you go. I had a yellow road car, actually. Right, you don't own 2 yellow road cars, do you? Because they attract too much attention, yellow road cars. Suzuki Ignis Sport, if you're wondering, was mine.
I had a Seat Leon.
Did you? Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah, the Cupra Yellow. Very nice. Yeah, very nice. No, our producer just letting us know there's nothing wrong with the Seat Leon. You can guess what car our producer drives, can't you? Other brands of car are available. Okay, so Timmy Hansen rolls up to the outside of the grid just as Kevin Hansen did, and he needs to get the job done from there too. So let's take a look at the grid for race 2. Fabien Paillet, Cyril Raymond and Jonathan Paillet on the inside, so 3 French cars in a row. But on the outside, Sebastian Eriksson, I think he's on his 3rd World RX start. He was here, he led here in 2014 on a one-off appearance. He led the final, and the car broke on the curb, which is now not inside the fast right-hander. He was 2nd fastest this morning in practice, 1/10 of a second behind Timmy Hansen, the World Championship leader in the latest version of OMSC Supercar. So what can he do from there? Same for Timmy, but they've got to get the start from the outside. Oh, Sebastian has to clutch kick. Timmy with a good start. On the inside, Cyril Raymond as well. Timmy in the same situation as Kevin, hung out to dry. Going to have to cross the whole gravel trap, back up and over the curbs. Disaster for Timmy Hansen and Sebastian Eriksson. They are at the back of the pack. That is not what they needed. What have you seen on Timmy's car?
I just saw there when he landed off the jump, it looked like a heavy impact, and they had a rear left puncture on Timmy's car, so that was off of the jump there.
So the World Championship leader at the one event of the year where if he doesn't make it to the semi-finals, it's a disaster. You can see the car crabbing badly. Hansen is pulling gears, but the car is is sideways. Timmy Hansen is in trouble here in Sweden. His home event. The rear left completely gone. Up and over the jump. He'll have to look after the car here too. So it's irrelevant who he's racing against down. The World Championship leader has a puncture in Q1.
Q1, the race where, you know, he's now going to be in a worse grid position for Q2 now as well. So it's really going to be a battle against Sebastian Eriksson as well. Disaster of a start, but luckily for him, not picking up the puncture.
Timmy's gone joking now. Sebastian Eriksson is all over the back of Cyril Raimondo. We know it's quick, but Raimondo is probably being held a bit by Paye. Sebastian looks up the inside. Sebastian took a win here, didn't he, in round 2, but it was taken away thanks to contact at the Joker merge. Gonna have a look at Cyril Raimondo as he down the hill. This isn't what he wanted either. After having a brilliant practice session, Sebastian Eriksson would have been hoping for more from Q1 too.
Yeah, so Sebastian needs to get into the Joker lap now if he wants any chance of being able to overcome the two. But I believe we're going to be seeing Cyril go in there as well, because it's the perfect opportunity for Cyril. So these two may be following each other in. No, Cyril goes and Sebastian stays.
So Sebastian Eriksson going to go with Fabian Paye on the last lap. So Cyril's going to shut the door. So Cyril's been held up there because we know the class is Cyril Raymond, but this. Where's Timmy Hansen as he continues? He's still circulating according to the timing screens. He's 8 seconds off the back of the leader. So Timmy Hansen, there he is on board with Hansen now, fighting for his World Championship lead. He knows the pressure he's under. He's got to keep the lap times as quick as he can down, but with a puncture, he's got to look after the car. Eriksson up the inside. Have some of that. Sebastian Eriksson with a forceful move into the last corner. Takes the lead. He had to do that because Paye's got a Joker too. Eriksson versus Raymond for this one. Wasn't a great start for Eriksson, or worse for Timmy Hansen, of course. Sebastian Eriksson with a great Joker lap, and he runs a bit deep. He's going to have to back the exit off. Raymond's going to get it because he can't hit the wall. Cyril Raymond just in front. Eriksson up the curve in the side of Cyril Raymond. Oh, contact again. Paye's right with them. But this is not going to be a quick time because of how much has happened here. Sebastian Eriksson with the whole rear quarter of the car hanging off. Cyril Raymond is going to take it. Timmy Hansen has still only lost 8.5 seconds, which is impressive with only 3 tyres on the car. Carnage in race 2 here. Raymond goes defensive on the brake. Sebastian Eriksson coming around behind. The time isn't bad, but it's not going to be enough. Cyril Raymond takes it. Where's Timmy Hansen? He's in the last corner now. Hansen has done a brilliant job with only 3 tyres. Pressure on, crosses the line, saves it. So Hansen, 10 seconds off. The crowd enjoyed that race. So did I. Cyril Raymond takes it from Sebastian Eriksson, Fabian Paye, Jonathan Paye, Timmy Hansen, the World Championship leader in P5 with a terrible time thanks to that puncture he picked up. There you go, drops off the back behind the wildcards. Timmy Hansen is going to have unbelievable sessions in Q2, 3 and 4. We've seen it before. We've seen it from someone like Johan Kristoffersson. I think he did it. Kristoffersson did it in South Africa last year, but there were only 15 cars there. There are 25 here. Here we go. Talk us through this.
Yeah, so replay here on board with Timmy Hansen, and it doesn't look like there's cars beside him, but big contact, and at this point he knows he's going through there. And I don't think he maybe picked the puncher up here. I think this is where he picked the puncher up going over the jump as well. We're not going to see it from on this shot.
We might see it on the exit here. So you think he picks it up when he lands? Here we go.
I think when he lands here, maybe in the next shot, but yeah, so I think he picks up the puncture off of the jump. He lands too heavy on the back left, and we've not seen it, but
well, we might be able to find it. We might be able to find Timmy's landing and see whether or not it was. But for him and Sebastian Eriksson, it was a disaster. Eriksson did well to recover. Timmy did well to hold on to the end of the race. But carnage in race 2.
Cyril, that was a very dramatic race. When you looked at the grid, is it a race that you expected to win?
Yes, of course. I had the whole teammate with me, Sebastian Eriksson. I know that he was really, really fast on the track. He was P2 after the free practice. I pushed really, really hard during this Q1. I'm really happy to win, but it's not finished. It's a long weekend.
And give us an idea of how much you felt the contact and the pressure from behind.
Yeah. I check all the time my race through on the car. It was very, very hard to keep Sebastian behind me. Really good job from Fabien Paye. He did a really good job on the start, and then I tried to overtake him. It doesn't work, but with the good trajectory, we did it. So it's good.
Well done, merci.
Well, Cyril's happy, but we know there was quite a lot of carnage in that race, Dan. And yeah, you take the win. Sebastian Eriksson, the biggest loser, Timmy Hansen. Hawkeye here thinks it might have been after the jump. We don't really know. We do our best for you. Our screens aren't even that big. Let's take a look. Here we go.
Yeah, so slow-mo here over the jump as that's the two guys in front of him. But you can see Timmy here lands and, yeah, the big blowout there. So
Hawkeye strikes again.
I'm a lot younger than you, mate. Let's just remember that one.
Here we go. Oh, yeah, the old eyesight. I have to start wearing my glasses. One of those. The monitors are small. I mean, it's not like an iPhone, but well done, mate. Good spot. Very nicely done. So there's two things now he's seen, the bollard and the puncture. So, but disaster for Timmy Hansen. Right, let's have a look then. Here we go, race 3. Jiri Kaliakowski on the inside, then it's Timo Scheider, Gulan Schischrit, Guillaume de Ridder and Kevin Eriksson on the outside. So we know the pace of Eriksson's car because we saw Sebastian Eriksson had gone quickly here in free practice. Kevin won the first round of Nordic here in this car. We'll talk to you about the car during the race if we get the chance. Kaliakowski on the inside is in the second starred machine, and I think it's his World RX debut. So there's a lot going on in this one. Guillaume de Ridder desperately needs a better weekend than he's had. Eriksson with a good start on the outside. Timo Scheider gets a squeeze on Schischrit. 5-car contact across. No, Kevin's in the gravel on the outside. Going to try and get back out without a mistake. Is it de Ridder that's been mugged again? De Ridder, so Kevin Eriksson goes joker. He's over-rotated. Somehow holds on just in front of Gulan Schischrit. Well, they're just mental. There's just so much going. Yeah, blimey, there you go. How very English. It says de Ridder the lead. Sorry, I thought it was de Ridder that had been left in the gravel trap at the back, but Arnie runs to it. No, he's further back, runs a bit wide. Sorry, we're looking at the battle further down. So Scheider, unbelievable. Unbelievable for de Ridder. Eriksson runs wide again off the jump. Scheider is all over the place too. Dan, this is carnage.
Absolute carnage, and I think there we've got de Ridder with a problem. The car looks super twitchy and everyone's just streamed by him, so de Ridder's looking for him. He even put a 4-leaf clover sticker in his car wishing for better luck, didn't he? But
he posted earlier this week on that this was the first place he'd think he took his win, wasn't it? His first place he'd had a maximum 30 points, and de Ridder's luck cannot change. Guillaume de Ridder is a very good driver, and unfortunately he's not getting to show that this year. So Kevin Eriksson's car looks super loose to me, Dan. I don't know if it's a problem or just the way he's driving it, but it's not looking quite so composed as we see Kaliakowski out front. I mean, everything's played into his hand. Scheider has jokered, Kevin Eriksson too, and is stuck behind him. But I need to see that first lap again because so much happened.
Yeah, I mean, I think these guys thinking it's maybe a semi-final. We're only on Q1 here, lads.
Yeah, it's wind it in a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, but maybe...
Is it the start, Stan? I mean, I know you've all got to win the start, but when 5 of you, Kaliakowski's going to hold on. Shuts the door, nicely done. When you're 5 abreast like that, you can look left and right. You very rarely use the mirrors, do you? Because you can't see anything in there. But when you have a quick look left and right, they would know there's a stack of cars there. There's a bit of me that says back out and get the undercut. Anyone who backed out there would have gone up the inside of all 4 cars as they ran wide in turn 1.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they were all locked together. So if everyone's making contact and you try and hit the brake pedal, then there's no hope of you stopping because you just get dragged along.
Mistake from Kaliakowski has cost Scheider time, and Eriksson's got him. So Eriksson up the inside of Scheider. But I think that was a mistake. Kaliakowski made a mistake on the brakes there. Scheider backed out of it. He's going to have a look up the inside on the exit. He's not going to get there. So Kevin Eriksson with a great move on his old teammate Timo Scheider. Timo was joking yesterday in the press conference where we revealed the draw. He goes, Kevin's my teammate. I was like, do you think you'd do your deal? He goes, no. And he's right, there is no deal. No deal. Kevin Eriksson goes through. Scheider drops back. But Kaliakowski, on his World Rallycross debut, is going to win a heat race. What's the time going to be like? Kevin Hansen leads at the minute on a 2:59.7. Kaliakowski again, super late on the brakes, but it's not quite as quick as Kevin was going, but that is impressive. Kaliakowski, 3:01. Schischrit spins and he hasn't crossed the line. He hasn't crossed the line, so Schischrit has had to spin the car around.
I think there was contact there with Scheider and Schischrit. They both had a donut before they crossed the finish line.
So let's have a replay of the entire race so we can actually figure out what the hell happened.
And can we have it in slow-mo?
Yeah, the whole race, please. Yeah, we'll have the entire of the first lap. Oh, my goodness me. That was a mad one. Kalle Koski on his World Rallycross debut takes it from Kevin Eriksson, Timo Scheider, Gulan Schischrit and Guillaume de Ridder, whose luck refuses to change. So Kevin Eriksson, to be fair, kind of saves that by getting himself up. There's 10 cars still to come. He's in 5th. Jari Kalle Koski to be in 3rd is great, but Kevin Hansen leads. But okay, Neil Cole is with our winner now, so we're going to have a chat with them. We're going to tee you up some replays, and then we're going to pick over that and see if we can figure out what on earth happened.
Jari, that is a dream debut in a world supercar. You must feel very happy.
Yeah, I am really happy. Very good start and I leading all qualified.
Well done, Kitos.
Right, here we go. Take a deep breath. Here we go, turn 1. So, de Ridder and Schischrit, we know there's 5 car contact here. Literally everyone is touching everyone there. So Kalle Koski, de Ridder's in the gravel, so's Eriksson. So Eriksson goes standard lap. No, he goes Joker, does he? Okay, we'll see it from the outside. Look at that, all 5 cars in contact. If someone's got that as a photo, that is a hell of a picture. So Eriksson goes Joker with, and that was a good move. So at the minute now on the inside, look, de Ridder comes over the jump to go P2. So where does it go wrong for de Ridder? Here's de Ridder in P2. Kalle Koski's just out short, runs a bit wide. So you think he's already got the problem there, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, I think the car's looking a bit loose. There's maybe a problem with the back right. You can see that's so twitchy. I don't know. You can't really visibly see any damage, but it doesn't look like it's handling correctly.
This is Kalle Koski's Joker. In the background, you can see a bit of contact there. So actually, there was contact there on the run into turn 2. Schischrit just gave a little nudge to the back of Eriksson. Nothing major. Scheider's having a look at Kalle Koski now. So this is the job. Right, this is where Kalle Koski makes a mistake for me there, runs deep. Scheider backs out of him. Kevin says, thanks very much, I'll take it.
Yeah, you just got to take the advantage of it as soon as you can. I think this just the incident between so Schischrit putting Scheider round and then Scheider round himself.
Scheider put Schischrit round in Norway. There might be a little bit of payback there, but it hasn't worked out for either of them, I'm afraid. I'm right, aren't I, in turn 1 in the semi-final?
I think it was Timozhanov.
Timozhanov hit him first, but then Scheider hit him on the way into the Joker.
Right.
I remember he wasn't over.
Everyone hit everyone there.
Yeah, everybody hit everybody there. Look, to be fair, these drivers, it's not really like, payback, but there is an element of, you give me a tap, I'll give you a tap. Yeah, people do pay these things back, but as I say, unfortunately, it doesn't work there.
Eye for an eye.
Indeed. Nitish is back. Last time he was back was Abu Dhabi. He landed on the roof of Anton Markland. We had a bit of a laugh with Anton about that yesterday. I don't know if Anton found it quite so entertaining. But Nitish is back, and he's got his teammate with him in this one as well. So, what a lineup, eh? Janis Baumanis on the inside from Reinis Nitish. The Latvians are next to each other. Then it's Timo Timozhanov, Philip German and Ulrich Linnemann. Linnemann in the Honda Civic, debuting that car in the World Rallycross Championship. He used to compete in the States, and it is now FIA World RX Legal. It's on the list, so we're looking to see that car in more races. It's won 2 rounds of Nordic so far this year. Can Linnemann do something here? He's got the World Championship regulars as well as Nitish to go up against. Good start, both of the Hyundais on the inside, but Baumanis is up the inside and F2 contact from all 3. Nitish on the lock, stops and on the gas. No! Reinis Nitish rolls in turn 1. That is unbelievable luck. You couldn't write it. Disaster for Reinis Nitish with a roll in the first corner on another one-off outing. His luck won't change either. Timozhanov leads from Baumanis.
I mean, what a disaster. These Q1 races have really given us a bit of action there, but I'm so gutted for Reinis. Another easy walks away. Look how gutted. You can tell by his body language. He's not happy, but it's good.
Weekend over, isn't it? Like they get the budget together. It's hard to get the money to get the drive, and he doesn't get the chance to prove it. He was testing last week. I was desperate to see how fast Reinis would be. We know how quick this car is, Dan. That's gutting.
Yeah, it is.
In front of the commentary box, contact and a spin for 2 drivers. You guys are looking at the race for the lead, but we've had carnage in front of us as well. You just couldn't write this. You really couldn't. I'm calling it. This is a bad session from the World Championship drivers in terms of keeping their head on straight.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe the atmosphere of the Magic Weekend is getting to them a little bit here.
German in the gravel. That's after contact with Linnemann in the hairpin just in front of the commentary a second ago. I know you want to go all in, but you got it. I don't know, Dan. We'll have to talk about it afterwards. Timozhanov still leads. What is that times like? 44.2
off a standing start, that is. So we'll see now after lap 2 what he's on. was at 43.4. Kevin Hansen was at 42.6. So the pace just isn't there since the first round.
Timozyanov through the Joker. He's gone Joker one lap early and he's going to cover off Balmanis behind him. So he's beaten Balmanis nicely there. Yanis, I spoke to his dad this morning in the Spotters Town. He wasn't happy with the car. I said, "Oh, how you doing?" He goes, "No, not so good." And that was before the second run of practice. And Yanis at the minute is, where is Balmanis? He's P4 in the standings, isn't he? He's right up there, I know that much. And of course, he took his first podium. Yeah, Balmanis P4 took a podium as a result of Markland getting disqualified. So Timozyanov over the jump. Got a lap to go. So this was his Joker lap, so we can't really compare the time on this one. Is still out there circulating, as is German, but they're all spread out. But the biggest disaster of all is for Nitish. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. I'm gutted for it. I wanted to see. We know how quick Rennie is. He's the reigning European Rallycross champion. He killed it last year, and he did brilliantly in Abu Dhabi, didn't he? You know, it wasn't his fault, the curb launch that he got there, and now this again. We saw a shot at our camera inside turn one. He was on the lock stops, wasn't he? He'd had a little nudge, and he was basically desperately trying to hold on to it, and I think he's hit the curb on the inside.
Yeah, I think so too. We saw a roll there a couple of years back for Ulrich Lindemann in Super 1600. But
Timozyanov, what's he done on the last lap? He's gone quickest. So Timozyanov has put in a 42.8 on the last lap, but his Joker must have been great. So Timozyanov, somewhere Kevin has lost enough time that Timozyanov has gone 1.6 seconds quicker. We weren't expecting that, were we?
No, mind blown.
Yeah. Well, this goes down as one of the most all-over-the-place sessions I've seen in the World Rallycross Championship. You're going to need to join us for Q2 later, because we're going to see some of the very quick drivers who've had issues. People like Timmy Hansen in another race with slower drivers. He's going to have to get it done in Q2. He's got to win everything, Timmy has now, to even make the semis with 25 cars here. You know, so much carnage. Will Nitish's car be repaired? Nitish's got a DNF, so he's not going to make it this weekend, but I'd like to see at least him get out there and have a go, because Timozyanov has proved how quick the car is. With a 2:58.1, he's going to go top. And it's Balmanis, Linnemann, German and Nitish with the DNF in turn one. So Timozyanov ahead of Kevin Hansen. Yanis Balmanis, look, goes P3. So there's so much going on that the times of these guys are actually really impressive. And we've got one race still to come, and you should know by now who's missing, which goes to give you an idea of who's in this last race. For a random draw, it's going to be epic. We've got Timozyanov with Neil.
Timmer, very dramatic racing, including your race, but your quickest so far. Talk us through it.
Yeah, actually it was some action on the first corner because the guys inside tried to be in front of me, and it's really tight for the from inside lines to turn into that corner. It was some pushing to the right, but after that maybe I was a little bit nervous. Done 2 laps, not so quick enough that to be secured by the first position. But after that, yeah, most concentration, good Joker lap, and the job is done at the moment. We're still waiting for the last run.
Well done, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Right, here we go.
Just on board with Rainis.
Yeah, up to turn one. Here he goes, look. And he knows. It's gone.
Just like that. It's so easy, isn't it?
So he tries to turn. Watch for Balmanis. So he can't go anywhere. He gets contact front left with Timmer, and then, oh my goodness me. Now the only thing I would say here, Dan, is that the roll itself was in the gravel trap, and so if the roll cage is still the first hit,
there was a big contact on the front right top as he went corner. Over. Yeah, we've just got to hope.
That's German, who I think has possibly got object fixation there with Nitish's car in the gravel trap and has ended up dropping it. This is Timmer, who said his Joker was good. And it was, wasn't it? Look at that, it's tidy.
Yeah, very good. All clipped the penalty marker there on the second corner. I don't know if he's been
he did, he got a warning.
Track marker warning there appeared on the timing screen.
Balmanis with a good run to go third in the standings so far, but at the minute, Timozyanov is top of the table, but we've got 5 very quick drivers still to come. So Nitish's car, let's see what a look we can get at Nitish's car. So the wing's still intact, clearly, but what we're worried about is the roof. Thanks for the road sweeper there, going through our shot. His front, what did you think, Dan? Front right corner of the roof?
Right, looked like it had a heavy impact. Maybe even the chassis could even be bent. He went down hard.
Yeah, you can actually look. You can see from the front right corner. You can see potentially one of the roll cage bars. Do you see sticking up into the roof?
Yeah.
Where it's creased over the top of it. So we're having a look at our monitor here. So from, if you're sitting in the car, from the front right A-pillar over your head to the rear left, it looks like there's a roll bar there and potentially the roof pushed down on that. It's about whether or not the cage is damaged. Forget the damage to the panels. That's nothing, is it? Dan's going to have a look at this with us. Here we go.
So super slow-mo into the first corner here. Bit of a squeeze between the two Hyundais, but then Baumanis just collecting the back of Reynis. Reynis going over. You can see a big sparks off the front corner. Actually, not too much contact on the cage there, and then just sliding on his roof, and then the roll itself is in the gravel. Maybe the front of the car was on the tarmac slightly. We couldn't quite see from that angle.
It seemed to me that the first impact's on the side of the car. I don't know if our camera will continue to transmit as it goes over, so watch this. Here we go. Yeah, it's the top right corner of the windscreen, isn't it? Is the one we're worried about.
Yeah, that's the danger there, is if that's slightly damaged.
Well, okay, that was us having a good old look down at our monitors there, and really not ideal. It's hard for us to tell from this angle. I'll tell you what, actually, I wonder where the truck's going. Is the car gone off the circuit already? I was going to say we might have been able to get Neil's camera to take a look at it as it came off the track, because the exit for the track is over there, but we'll try and bring you an update in between the sessions. Keep your eyes on the social media channels, Instagram, Twitter and Facebook of the World Rallycross Championship. If you're not following them, you should be. And that will give you an update, I'm sure, first of all, as to whether or not Nitish is going to make it back out. They're going to have quite the job to do down there. Now, you'll have had a cheeky little glimpse of the grid. You're on board there with Liam Doran, who came so desperately close to winning his first World Rallycross Championship round in Norway. The gear stick, which you can see just to the right of the steering wheel, broke off in his hand. He was stuck in first gear. But here we go. Liam Doran on the inside with his teammate Andreas Backrud next to him. Kevin Abring, who also nearly won in Norway. Anton Marken, who won and had it taken away. And Niklas Gronholm, who picked it up. The only person who's in there that wasn't in the final is Andreas Backrud, and he was at home. So he's got stuff that he wants to make up for as well. Marken would desperately love to take the win here, having had it taken away. It's going to be epic. Let's hope these guys are a little bit more sensible than we've seen from some of the previous runs. Watch for the ready to race light. We're about to end Q1 with a bang. What kind of a bang is it going to be? Good start by all the cars. Gronholm maybe lost out to Markland. Kevin Abring's got a good start on the inside. Beckford's going to get hot shot. Doran backs out. Abring's gone wide. Mark and Liam are off. So Anton Markland and Kevin Abring are off in turn one. Over the gravel track, come back. Doran goes Joker one. Niklas Gronholm has gone with Backrud on the standard lap.
Perfect for Liam to get in and out of the Joker there after the two guys behind making that mistake and costing so much time. But I thought we might see these guys maybe backing off a little bit after all the carnage we've seen so far. But they're all still going at it, all guns blazing.
They are indeed. Markland and Abring are still going. You're on board with Liam. As the car moves onto the gravel, immediately gets loose. Look at the commitment into here. Touch that curb, don't ride it in the inside. Dan, it's very hard to judge the angle of the jump because it's just a big spread of dirt on and off the track.
Yeah, it is quite hard to judge it, but the guys want to try and get ever slightly to the left of it, because then the trajectory of the jump, it doesn't send you off on too much of an angle.
Niklas Gronholm, to me, looks faster than Backrud here. He's absolutely all over the back of him. We know his teammate Timizyanov is currently in the fastest position. So does Gronholm go Joker? How far back is Doran? Doran's only 2.8 off the back of Gronholm here. Backrud will be going as quick as he can, but this might play into Liam's hands.
Yeah, so Liam might be taking advantage of Gronholm being backed up by Backrud, and for me, I think they need to get Gronholm in and out. He needs to nail a perfect Joker lap if he wants to take the
I'd
position.
like to have seen Gronholm go on the last lap, I'm afraid, because now he's behind Backrud. That'll compromise his entry into the Joker anyway.
He's gone for it. He's gone.
He's gone. I think he should have gone lap 2. So Gronholm versus Doran. Watch for Doran on the inside. He'll have good exit speed. Gronholm's going to straighten it out. Doran's got him though. Oh, contact. Liam Doran gets past Gronholm. I think Gronholm should have gone on the lap before.
Yeah, so just being stuck behind Andreas for that extra lap has just cost him. It's Kevin Abring.
Fastest lap of the day, Kevin Abring, but Gronholm's up the inside of Doran. Over the curve on the inside. Straight back through. Niklas Gronholm with a brilliant pass. Kevin Abring out there circulating very quickly, but off the back of the pack. So Niklas Gronholm with an amazing, just incredible traction, straight through, chasing down Backrud. Now the gap is 4.6. I reckon it's going to cost too much. Liam, I wonder if he's got a problem. There's a lot of smoke in the rear of his car. Liam Doran's car is crabbing. I think he might have a puncture. Backrud over through. He's going to get it
riding on with Liam there, looking like he's had a bit of understeer. The car there really sideways, maybe a rear right puncture for Liam.
Backward coming round, the target time is 2:58.1. He runs a bit deep off the jump. At the minute, it's Tim Asjanov that leads. Can Andreas Backward do anything about it? He's the only driver to have won it before. There they are up in the stands. It's enough. Backward's done it. Backward takes Q1. Oh, and the line we've got to pass. Contact Doran's off the side of the track, flat out. Doran in the wall. Liam Doran was off the track, flat out. There's Baccarat's fans. Baccarat has won the session. Doran and Markland came together in the last corner. Doran then looked like the throttle was stuck, and it sounded like it was still revving when he was in the bank. So Liam loosens the belts off. Markland got up his inside in the hairpin in the very back of your shot. Hangs the wheel up top. Engine still running. Here we go. Let's take a look back at Liam. I don't know if this is on board or outside. He's okay. I think the car will be okay. Although straight into that bank down at quite a speed as well. Take a look. Here we go. This is Doran. Look, Markland's got him on the inside. There's a glancing blow, and the car just goes light, and that's it.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem to be squatting down to stop, although his wheels are locked. That is a hard hit.
Massive. That could be chassis damage down. That's certainly going to hurt Liam. You're on board now. Listen. He's going down the gears, bracing now for the hit. That is a big, big hit. You saw from the outside the car. Oh my goodness me, so massively mixed fortunes for the Monster Energy RX Cartel. Andreas Baccarat beats Niklas Gronholm, Anton Markland, Liam Doran and Kevin Abbring after carnage again at the start. Abbring and Markland ran off the side of the track. Baccarat goes fastest. Tim Asjanov and Gronholm look at P2 and B3. I have to say, I think Gronholm looked quicker, but Baccarat has got the job done. He's the only guy on the entry list here who has won a round of the World Championship at this event. He won a Euro event here as well, and it's Baccarat who leads after Q1.
Well, Andreas, some chaotic racing, including in your race, but untroubled by that, you have won Q1.
Oh, that was great. I mean, like, first of all, we have been struggling on practice. We didn't have the speed. We have done a bunch of changes, and yeah, cool to start the weekend like this. Obviously, great being here in Hollier, Sweden, the magic weekend. The one every driver would love to win, including myself. Having all the Baccarat Blues up here supporting me and RX Cartel. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well done. Keep it going.
Thank you.
Right, on board with Liam at the start. Watch to the outside, so he knows he's got a good start. You can hear the wheels been backed out to keep his teammates safe, which is the right thing to do. Goes wide, goes Joker. Doesn't know at this point what's happened behind him.
No, but choosing to split the strategy is Kevin Abbring and Anton Markland there getting hooked up. I'm sure Abbring wouldn't have been turning left, he would have been turning right, but with Markland leaning on his back wheels, you can see there.
Contact between Gronholm and Markland as well on the way into the first corner. So it was all, I wonder if Gronholm tagged Markland and then Markland tagged Kevin. I mean, look, they all got away with it, and actually Markland's time of 3:04, well, it's not great. Him and Doran are 12th and 13th, but it's not a disaster. You know, either of those guys can recover from there if Doran's car can be rebuilt. So we think he had a problem already here, don't we? Because he just suddenly dropped. When Gronholm got past him, for me, he went backwards too quickly for Liam.
Yeah, so we might be able to see something here. There's contact between them, but I'm not sure if that was what caused the damage. You can see the car is crabbing all over.
This is the move. Look, watch on the inside here. No, it's all right. It was. At this point, the car's still quick, but it was the way that Gronholm went away from him that it made me think something. Unless they broke something in the drive with the contact, and rather than a tyre, maybe transmission in that contact at the merge. But Baccarat takes it, weight in the background. Overcomes Gronholm, sorry, and here comes Liam Markland. We've no idea if they're going to be able to get that car fixed. Look at this. Boom. Doran's car going back onto the truck, so we could do is see in the front right corner of that. I wonder if we can see that from the. We might be able to see that from our Joker camera. We might be able to see the front right corner of Liam's car. Down, and they're pulling it up on the wheel. Look, so they haven't found the tow hook on the back. They're just pulling. That's no good for the transmission, really. Liam's standing there supervising in the background. No, he's gutted. Can't see it from there either.
Yeah. Wonder if we can get a shot of the front right corner.
There it is. Oh. I'd say not ideal, Dan. It's very, very hard to tell. So we are going to go to the paddock and find stuff. So we're looking at Nitish, and we're looking at Doran's cars for you. Mind blown, like, what was that all about?
It was a bit crazy, wasn't it? It's only Q1. I mean, you expect that sort of action from maybe a final. Or
Semi-finals, definitely. Semi-finals always go mad because everyone's like, oh, I'm going to make it or I'm not. Let's do everything stupid, you know. But that was just like 25 blokes went to pin out and just went for it.
Yeah, it's like they almost think, oh, it's the Magic Weekend and Kristoffersen's not here, so this is
I stand a chance. So just crazy racing. I mean, you know, RX2 and Euro were pretty exciting, but World has just gone next level there. So yeah, it was mad. We should have the standings for you at some point, I think, from that session. So let's take a look and see. You already knows at the top it's Andreas Backerud, Timur Zyanov second, Niklas Grono, Kevin Hansen, Janis Belmanis, Bachuska's done well in sixth, Jiri Kaliakowski's done really well, Sabo in eighth, that's nice to see as well. Kevin Eriksson's in, Sebastian Eriksson's in, Cyril Raymond, Anton Markand is at the minute, Liam Doran is one place out. Can they fix the car? Fabian Paye, Timo Scheider, Jonathan Paye, but look at this. Kevin Abring, Kjetil Larsen, Linneman, Shisharit, Timmy Hansen is in 21st place, the World Championship leader. De Ridder, his luck refuses to change. Philip German, 23rd. Nitish, DNF with that roll in the first corner. Well, we've had a mad session. Dan, well, I don't know. Why don't we let Neil pick the bones of it and see? So we'll see you later on.
Talk about a hospital pass. Thank you very much. Well, incredible. If you've been here for the live stream, then over the next few hours and days and weeks, there'll be photos and clips of what happened here during that qualifying session being shared across with hashtag WorldRX. So you were here, so well done for that. All I can say is make sure you're back again in about 2 hours and we'll do it all over again. Maybe there'll be just as much carnage. We just saw Liam's RX Cartel Audi go past. It looked very broken. That front end needs a lot of work and there's not much time to get that ready because they will, of course, be in race 1 of Q2. So we are Backerud Blue. The Backerud Blues celebrated and then they've gone to lunch. We were going to get them to cheer. Now, as you will know, the qualifying for qualifying 2, the order in which they race will be decided. So let's have a look at whether it'll be slowest first or fastest first. This is happening live spinner. Watch this. Wow, okay, so it is confirmed live here, will be fastest first. There'll be a very dramatic session, qualifying 2. You don't want to miss it. Of course, there will also be qualifying 2 of RX2 and European Rallycross supercars. Oh, and we might get one over by Luke Woodham, who's coming past in his monster drift truck. So obviously they'll be doing a little bit of clearing up of the circuit. We'll go and get a breather, and we'll see you back live here in Holius very soon. Ciao.